as well as supervisors in the department about experiences he's had, experiences from the community, and just make us better prepared and trained to address any situations that might arise on our day-to-day patrol and police service.
Dieppe says they want the position to strengthen relationships between the department and members of the LGBTQ community in the city. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Brookhaven wants to make sure short-term rentals don't get out of hand.
The city of Brookhaven is making an effort to tell its homeowners they can rent out their places for short terms, but a permit from the city is needed, and there are rules.
No short-term rental house may be rented for more than 180 days in a calendar year. The applicants can only be owner-occupied and have a current homestead exemption.
City spokesman Burke Brennan says they want homeowners to enjoy sharing their property, but not at the expense of the neighbors. If large and loud parties occur, Brennan says 911 can be called. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
State Senator John Kennedy is the latest Republican to jump into the race for lieutenant governor of Georgia. He's optimistic about next year's election.
I think the Republicans are going to have a very good, strong ticket to offer the people of Georgia good choices for good continued leadership.
He's one of 5 Republicans in the race hoping to replace Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who's likely going to run for governor. Hundreds of CVS pharmacies are closing this year, including one in Atlanta. The national drugstore chain confirms the closure of 270 stores as part of an ongoing effort to realign the company's retail footprint. CVS will close its location at 439 Highland Boulevard in Atlanta. News of the closures was first announced last fall. The company also plans to open nearly 30 locations this year. It is now 3:03. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. In the 24-hour traffic center, Alex Williams.
And we just found a new crash in the Suwannee. Our traffic troopers warned us about it. We see it on the jam cam. Right lane blocked, 85 northbound, just before Lawrenceville Suwannee Road, Highway 317, exit 111. That's slowing you as you leave Sugarloaf Parkway. In Cobb County, still watching traffic lights flashing red in at least one intersection. East-west connector at Cooper Lake Road. There's been several other intersections in Cobb with flashing traffic lights. Use caution if you approach those. And downtown, all lanes blocked and reopened. 75, 85 southbound. Down around Freedom Parkway, again, all lanes are back open, but just adding to that volume as you make your way south through Midtown. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies but hazy today. High 83, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with some of the haze still sticking around. High 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower. High 85.
81 in Sandy Springs, 84 in Austell, and 82 in College Park. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, Hour 1 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I couldn't get as super gravelly as Eric does. Your lovable, huggable host is on vacation this week, so we do hope you enjoy the Doctrinaire Doctrine. I'm Tim Andrews. Autumn Fisher is joining us today and every day this week. The man behind the glass, George Clark. Greg Russ will join us later, and we have a guest coming up at 3:30, comedian Greg Warren, who's calling in to talk about his new stand-up special, The Champ. Also, your open mics on the WSB radio app. Hey, tanned, rested, and raring to go. It is the post-vacation Jared Yamamoto. Jared, welcome back.
It feels good to be back, man. I got a nice, refreshing family vacation. I think we finally worked out the boundaries of how you do a family vacation when you are in your 30s and you are kidless and all of the other siblings are having kids now.
Very nice.
Tina and I have figured out, we found the formula. It worked out great.
My favorite part of your vacation is upon your returning trip. You were getting back into town to do the nightcap on Saturday,
right.
and you recorded a promo video for it while you were driving.
I know. Well,
that seems a bit irresponsible.
I was using the little holster in the car. First off, if people don't know, I know it's dangerous, and not everybody
and
should
against
do
the
it.
law.
Not everybody is as talented as I am when it comes to recording videos in the car or multitasking in the car. So I don't suggest it to everybody, but I'm a great.
But you're good at it.
I'm a great texter in the car, and I am great at multitasking in the car. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use my little cell phone holster.
Okay.
And I turned it over horizontal, which you don't do that in the social media world. So the influencers probably hated a horizontal video, but I turned it sideways.
Autumn hated it. She texted me. She's an influencer.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't believe he
I
would
was
do
like,
something.
oh no, not this.
What?
Jared, what have you done?
Faux pas.
Anything but the horizontal video, and I had to let people know about my nightcap that I actually did live on Saturday, and
That was a rare treat, huh? You like doing that live?
it was fun. I enjoyed it. Took some calls, and even lost my voice at the end of the show. So I guess I'd been singing in the car too much. And at the very end of the show, I have no idea.
When you ignore your wife while you're driving home and you just scream your song.
And then singing off key for hours.
we sing together in the car.
Okay, if you sing together, that's cool.
It was a 9.5-hour drive, and we're talking the whole time because both of us are major socialites. We like to spend time talking, and it's hard to shut both of us up. And I was literally going into the last segment of the show, and then my voice just went, and I just lost it in the middle of the segment, and I'm like,
well, there might be a reason for that, so why don't we just go ahead and do this?
The research is in, and after careful calculation, it's called Georgia Stuff.
See, Autumn, he was blaming it on something else.
Oh, okay.
Not scream. He didn't tell me that it was because he was screaming songs in the car.
So I've had some time to reflect on it, but it also could be this as well, because the Canadian wildfire smoke is continuing to drift over North Georgia. Steve Summers on Saturday was leading with that during his newscast, and I'm like, what in the world? I wondered why the sunset looked so unique and so kind of hazy.
I can't see the sunset where I live because there's a lot of trees. And I normally would sit in a carport, if I'm out at sunset.
Sure.
So
it's all hazy from all the smoke.
Now get out of here.
Smoking.
Mind your own business.
Whoops.
Blabbermouth. How do you know I'm doing it? I cleaned the carport.
Yeah, it's a big secret that you. Yeah.
Whatever.
Don't tell anybody.
So yes, well, autumn notwithstanding, I wouldn't be able to see it, but I haven't really noticed an awful lot of smoke in the sky. Can you see it during the daytime? Tell me about it. Do you think that affected you? You were in Florida, so.
I think it possibly did it. I think I have a little bit of asthma, so I think that it's really triggered through hay fever, through the pollen, like allergy season.
Yeah.
But coming back from Florida, there was no wildfire smoke down in South Florida where I was, and then when Steve led with it during his newscast, I'm like, maybe that is impacting me.
Psychosomatic. It's because you were singing in the car.
Probably that. It probably is. I was definitely belting out some tunes in the car ride home. I was
also,
not
your pipes weren't warmed up for that.
I was not.
You didn't have your DJ, your radio talk show voice ready. Hey, everybody, it's Jared Yamamoto. My voice is a little worked out because I was singing bad country the whole way.
We were definitely singing some bro country on the way back. As the great Candace Presley taught me so long ago here at WSB, and she's the host of Perspectives on the Weekend, she said, you've always got to protect the pipes here.
Yes.
And I was not protecting the pipes.
She has an amazing voice.
She has an incredible voice.
She doesn't sit in her carport all day smoking cigarettes.
No, she does not. So I think.
What is causing these fires? So where are they? And they're out west or something?
Yeah. So these wildfires are kind of stretching from the western part of Canada all the way to the central part of Canada, and the smoke is traveling all from the Minnesota area, kind of down through
following
Iowa.
the jet stream. Then.
Yeah, following the jet stream down to the Atlanta area.
It's another thing coming from Canada that we have to fight back on. We need to maybe build giant fans, get some of those OnlyFans that they sell online, or something like that. Get the
You've
big
heard about
fans.
those OnlyFans?
No, that's something else.
It's something
That's a
else.
different
Well,
thing.
I mean, Barron told me about all these fans, these OnlyFans, and I didn't know what it was. But they have all those windmills. Maybe bring those up there, turn them around, blow that smoke back. Because look, if they don't get it under control, we're going to tell Carney, their new prime minister, who's just as bad, frankly, as the previous one. Maybe not as annoying and effeminate, but definitely, a globalist. We need to stop it, and if we don't stop it, then more tariffs. We're going to do the smoke tariff, okay? We got to stop it.
Mr. President, do you think that Canada has intentionally lit these fires to attack us with their wildfire smoke?
I wouldn't put it past them. Look, nothing surprises me these days. It might be something like that where they have set fires, so when they become the 51st state, we won't be able to use that beautiful wood to build houses with, and we'll have to buy all of our wood. Not that
Where are we
going
to get all the maple syrup if we put all these tariffs on Canada?
I have signed an executive order telling everybody that has a maple tree in their yard, they have to make maple syrup, and then the maple syrup van will come around and pick it up and boil it. You don't have to boil it. You just collect the sap,
Okay.
and they'll come. The sap truck will stop by, and then we don't have to worry about Canada. That's all they have are beavers and maple syrup and moose. They have
And
a
like
lot of
geese.
moose.
You should stop the Canadian geese from coming down.
I don't mind them. I will keep them in Florida. You know, they come down, they lay their eggs, they chase people around, they hiss at you if you get near their ducklings or whatever the
They poop
goslings.
everywhere on the sidewalks.
The guys, they do it. That big green poop. Maybe we'll send them
Yeah, it's
back.
gross.
They gotta go back. They gotta go back.
See, I think they should go back.
But Mr. President, they also go after the children too. I've seen lots of
I've
children
seen
get
that, too.
chased by the Canadian geese,
And they
that's-
honk. They go honk, honk, honk. They're so annoying. Autumn is right. Autumn, do you want to work for me? I could pay you like $2 million a year.
Sure, I'll be like the goose czar.
Yeah, you could be the goose czar. Autumn is the goose czar. She will round up all of the Canadian geese, work hand in hand with Stephen Miller, and we'll just send all the geese back.
Guys, I'm not really gonna do anything. I'm just gonna take the money.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's what everybody does.
What? Huh?
In
What?
government. No, you said the truth out loud. I mean, nobody does
Oh.
anything. But they say they're going to do things, and they get hired to do things, but they don't really do. I mean, come on.
What do you think about the interview Elon Musk did? on,
Which
I think it
interview?
was Sunday morning.
With who? I didn't watch it. I don't get it
I don't
that
know. It
early.
was somebody asking him about the Doge stuff, and he was like, can we just talk about spaceships?
Yeah, I don't care, really. I fired his buddy that he wanted me to put into NASA because, look, this guy's woke. What other news do you have, Jared?
I just wanted to say that Christina Edwards has this great article. If you want to find out more about these Canadian wildfires that are impacting the Atlanta area on
I did not approve any plugs.
On WSBRadio.com.
Check out my article. I'm Christina Edwards. These Canadians have to get out of here.
They need to learn how to put their fires out.
These Canadians need to learn how to put their fires out and stop causing it to go down the jet stream. I'm Christina Edwards.
Thank you, Christina. What does she say in her article? Do you have audio from it, or are you just saying?
Just reading it from what she wrote here. She just has all the different locations where the fires are throughout Canada and why
it's here,
they're
and it's
traveling.
there,
Okay.
And it's there.
Well, they got to do
and it's right
something about it.
there.
Put them out. Put the fires out.
What else you got? Georgia stuff.
All right, so Uber drivers are unwittingly being used as drug mules around Metro Atlanta. So there's the new service called Uber Courier, where it's a
And
package.
they should get a piece of that pot,
Sure.
right? Like they should get a piece of that act.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
What is it? Well, first off, what is Uber Courier? They're cutting into the courier market?
Yeah, so it's a package delivery service. So I know that in the past there have been times where I've called an Uber to drop off if somebody was sick or something like that, like a 6-pack of beer or something like that, or like a 24-pack, just to make sure it's
You mean
worthwhile.
Uber Eats, right?
No, I'm saying I would call an Uber driver. The Uber driver would show up to my house.
You'd give him beer.
And I would say, hey, I've got this 24-pack that needs to go to this address or whatever. And I'm like, can you please deliver this to me? I know I'm not technically riding in the car, but is it okay? And most Uber drivers, once they met me, they're like, oh, okay, sure, absolutely, we understand. And I'm like, this is the person, what they look like. You show an image. And then they end up getting the delivery. Now,
I would take an Uber tax for that. Right? I'm taking one of your beers, bro.
Hey, man, my buddy's not feeling so good. He's a little hungover, can't go anywhere. Could you take this quarter over to him, please? Don't smoke any on the. I mean, you could take a pinch out if you really need to.
That Canadian haze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that is that
is.
Canadian.
That's what it's called.
Oh,
bro.
another Canadian.
Yeah, but this is like a hybrid indica sativa mix, dude, and it tastes like Canadian smoke.
This is the good stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. You spark this up, boy, you'll be coughing, but you got to cough to get off.
I am surprised, Autumn, that you have not used an Uber like this before, or
I've never heard
like-
of anybody using an Uber that way.
No, you've never
No.
used it. Okay, so
No, not to.
No, I've done Instacart
Yeah.
and delivered things to people through that. But
Yeah, I didn't know you could do it with Uber, but Uber does have. Well, not Uber Eats, DoorDash. You can, get a bunch of Walgreens stuff brought to your house.
yeah.
But here's the thing: you can deliver. It's legal to get a bottle of wine or get a bottle of whiskey or get a 6-pack of beer, but you can't get a pack of cigarettes. I don't understand that.
Wow.
Oh, you can't?
No, there are no apps in Georgia. Even they have an app called GoPuff, which is an app.
GoPuff.
Yes, it's ostensibly to get tobacco products, and the only thing when you type in Marlboro Lights in the search box, up pops nicotine patches, nicotine gum, and then one vape. But none of the other stuff shows up, so I don't understand it.
You know what you might be able to do is do Instacart.
But
and not.
you can't do it. Go ahead.
Oh, but I'm saying, so do Instacart And then there's somebody that's like someone who's driving around. It's their side gig, and they go grocery shopping for you, and you tell them to like pick up some eggs, some milk, some bread, some and then you just text them, say, hey, would you be willing to, I'll throw in $10 extra in my tip if you grab some smokes for me.
Okay, I'll do it.
I wonder if that would work.
It might. You have to be able to directly talk to them, but.
You can when you text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
next time I'm really lazy and I don't want to get in the car. Because in Tucker,
you have to look around your kitchen, see what else you need at the same time.
You got to make it efficient. Make sure that you get everything you need in that one trip.
In Tucker, they have a store called Milk Jug, and it's a drive-through place.
Milk Jug?
Yeah, it's legendary. It's been there for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And you just pull up. It's a drive-through place. The guy comes to the little window if it's after 9, slides it open. What can I get you? You give him your debit card. Give me this, give me that, and everything, and you drive away. They do sell milk, so that's nice.
Oh, I figured that'd be appropriate.
But I don't get milk there. I go to Publix. No milk. But I mean, if you don't feel like getting out of your car or putting on pants, just hop in and go to Milk Jug.
I would feel awkward getting in a car without pants. Have you gotten in a car without pants before?
Plenty of times.
Really?
No, I don't get in a car without pants. I was making a joke. Do you? I have without shoes, and that's fun.
Oh, I think that's illegal, isn't it?
No, I mean I have socks on.
I know, but I think without shoes, I think it's illegal.
All right, I have slippers on. You can wear slippers or
I'm
sort of.
calling the police.
No, slippers are sort of shoes. But I still, it perplexes me that you can get alcohol. You can get a big bottle of whiskey and sit in your carport if that's where you want to drink or with your friends or whatever. But you can't get cigarettes. I don't understand why delivering tobacco is illegal, but alcohol is not.
Well, because there's the war against tobacco right now. That's what it is.
Trying to suppress nicotine.
Yeah, well, you know who it is? The globalists. They don't want you to get that nicotine.
Yeah, Peter Thiel says it raises your IQ by 10 points.
See, and Peter Thiel knows who is that guy? Planet.
He's the Palantir guy.
Oh, yeah,
He's
the guy that's going to build the
AI.
national database.
Exactly.
Of all of our DNA and weed us all out for AI.
Build a technocratic society.
What a great idea, Peter Thiel.
I
support it.
I guarantee you, Tim, that more people are going to be. You'll be able to get weed delivered to you sooner than you will
in Georgia. Who's going to bring it in Georgia?
Oh, I mean, I'm saying once it gets legalized, because it's heading that direction. I think eventually, in probably the next 10 years, it'll get legalized in Georgia.
Oh, when I was staying in downtown Boston, this was a couple years ago. Gilbert must have been 2. We were staying in this nice hotel, and there were signs everywhere that said, text so-and-so, or text this number to get weed delivered to you. You just text it, and then they will bring the weed to you. And there are all these pot stores all over the city. Mike Tyson's weed was available at the time.
So I think it's going to be more likely.
But you can deliver it now. You'll just get arrested if you get pulled over.
Exactly. I think it's going to, in the next 10 years, you'll have weed and beer delivered or any kind of alcohol delivered before you get cigarettes
Hey,
delivered.
can you stop by Jim's house and pick me up an 8-ball?
That'll be the next thing.
In D.C., a while ago, when it was like not quite legalized, but it was decriminalized, you would order a painting, and then as a free gift, quote unquote, you would get your product.
What kind of ugly
my gosh, your
paintings do
house
you
is-
have to throw away when they get there?
Yeah, your house
Exactly.
is chock full of paintings.
Why do you
the
have-
local Goodwill is like overstocked.
Oh yeah, Mom, Dad, I started becoming an art collector. I know they're horrible.
Wonderful, sweetie.
Yeah, I know they're terrible paintings. You
I
want
think
to take
there's
one?
a skunk in the attic.
Oh yeah, we had one
Wow.
by here earlier today.
You really need 2 paintings a week?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm really craving a lot of art.
Really just trying to help the local community out.
What a great scam that is, though. You can order some crappy painting.
Some hippie shows up on a bicycle.
Yeah, here's your painting, bro. Wink.
Exactly.
Wink.
Well, the audience can't see us, so I couldn't just wink.
Yeah, I liked it. Wink. I like the idea of him actually saying it, though.
Wink. What else is going on?
So this.
Well, anyway, yeah. So what's happening? They're delivering drugs. These Ubers
unwillingly delivering drugs. So one Uber driver who is unnamed in this WSB TV article was up in Johns Creek, and he called the cops because he's like, "Hey, there's something really stinks in this bag."
Was it pot?
Yeah, it was pot in the bag. And Johns Creek police, of course, confiscated the bag, took out the stuff, and basically sent out the
What a snitch.
Yeah.
Uber drivers are snitches. Now you do that. Don't do that at Johns Creek.
Yeah,
Or
or
any
you
of those-
do that. You got to go to the right neighborhood to do
You
that.
do have to go to
Make sure it's Midtown, man.
Or go to a town that doesn't have a lot of homeowner covenants.
Yeah, there you go.
Or an Uber driver is going to rat you out.
Or standards. You need to go someplace with less standards.
Yeah, go way less standard.
So these poor Uber drivers are having to deal with this, and now that they're now being encouraged that if they're using the Uber courier service, that if they sense something suspicious, to contact their local authorities and let them know, and then they will be able to potentially confiscate whatever it is that people
Snitches
are
get
delivering back and
stitches.
forth. Hey, as long as you don't deliver, as long as you don't go after the beer that I send for tailgates on the weekend, I'm okay with it. I enjoy that service.
I think you're making that up.
I'm serious. Before Uber Courier, I have literally put beer inside of a car that I ordered, whether it's Uber or Lyft.
As long as they're getting their money, I guess they don't care.
Yeah, I tell the driver, I'm like, hey, do you mind taking this to
Does your
this
buddy
address?
have to come out of their house to get it, or is the Uber driver going to get out of the vehicle?
Yes, my buddy has to do it. In fact, Shelly Winter and I did that for one of his tailgates. We had a bunch of beer that we had to drop off.
Hey, Jared, can you Uber me some beer?
That did not happen.
We absolutely, you know what? I will bring Shelly in here later on in the show, and he will confirm directly to both you and Autumn and George and confirm that
George
this happened.
believes you, man. He's not gullible, though. He falls for those conspiracies.
I'm telling you, man.
Jared, it's really happening. Do we have time for one more?
I'd say so. This is a
Georgia stuff then.
Kind of a wild story here from way down in southeast Georgia. A Georgia mayor and 2 others are jailed on felony charges for trying to halt a local election. This is
How do you halt an election?
This was Camilla.
You say,
Mayer.
y'all stop, go home.
Y'all, bless your hearts. We're not having an
Yeah.
election today.
Oh, that was yesterday. Y'all missed it. Bye.
Bye.
This was Camilla Mayor Kelvin Owens. I mean, just to give you an idea where Camilla is,
yes,
that is even further south than Albany. So that's
nobody knows
way,
where that is.
way
What's
down.
it over by Alabama, or is it near Florida?
It's close to both. It's actually close.
So it's in the corner.
It's a little closer to Florida than Alabama, but you're in the right area. It's
All right.
Southeast Georgia, and the mayor was being held at the Mitchell County Jail 2 days after a grand jury indicted him on a felony charge of election interference and a misdemeanor court charge of conspiring to commit election fraud. So, hey, look, election fraud happens at the national level. It happens at local level. It happens at Camilla, Georgia, of all places.
Well, what's going to happen to them?
Well, it looks like they're going to go through and have another election again. So I think that's where it is in this state.
Not if Kelvin has anything to say about it.
Absolutely wild, though, how a place like this, and I guess when you think about how important local elections are, it makes sense now that people are so political about everything. It makes sense that local elections
You think
are
people
now.
in Camilla are really paying any attention at all to their mayoral race?
I don't know the politics there, but I mean, I know how engaged some people are.
Yeah.
Any chance this is the Russians?
Yeah, probably.
They've got a lot of,
They have a server
interests
farm.
in Camilla.
They have a server farm in Alabama, and they're monitoring every small town in the state of Georgia to make sure that only MAGA people get elected.
Of course.
They have to start small, so they're testing it out in these small areas.
That's right. And then they're going to expand it to like a big city like Gainesville.
You start in Camilla, Georgia, then you move your way up to Albany. You just work your way up north.
Man, I'll never get used to that, the way you say that. Say it again.
Albany.
Yeah, Albany.
No, it's Albany.
Well, Albany.
Well, the whole argument before was you saying that it was Albany.
Yeah, you also say Albany.
You could say it that way, too.
You can?
Albany.
You can say things.
can, but it's-
Atlanta. You can say anything any way you want, but there is
Atlanta, you just take the T's out. Atlanta.
Atlanta?
That's how you're supposed to say it.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
there-
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
And the other one, the other one, how did they? Oh yeah, Rome. They say rum.
Rum?
No, they don't do that.
I was trying to give it like a southern twang to make it right, but I could.
Well, that would be Rome.
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 Y'all, I'm from Rome.
Y'all, I live in Rome.
When you look at
My daddy grew up in Rome.
at a state, if you look at a state map of Georgia and you look at all the cities,
Mhm.
it's kind of incredible how many.
Zebulon's my favorite because it sounds like an alien's name.
That is a great name for a city. And there are so many European capital city names. Like we have like a Cairo, Georgia. You have
Kyiv?
We have a I don't know if we have a Kyiv or not. We have Paris, Georgia.
And Athens.
We have Athens, you're right. We got Rome. We got all these different European capital cities in the state of Georgia.
Oslo.
Yep.
Is there an Oslo?
I don't know. I'm
Reykjavik.
asking you. You're the expert on European capitals in Georgia and how they're connected.
Warsaw, Georgia.
Dusseldorf.
There is a Warsaw.
There is a Warsaw, Georgia. You're right. about that.
Dusseldorf. That's not a capital.
I don't know.
There's a Bethlehem.
Oh, that's the capital of Christianity.
Some people will go and ship their Christmas presents up from Bethlehem, Georgia. So
they will.
That's cute.
So
really?
Their family receives their gifts.
I can't make a joke about that without offending people, but I didn't.
I know. I want to talk about like Santa.
One person
where he was
associated
born.
with Christmas doesn't deliver gifts, but Santa's a German who lives at the North Pole. So
there's no North Pole, Georgia.
No.
We need it. You know what? That should be the next city. Instead of coming up with some boring name for a city, we'll come up with North Pole, Georgia. That's what we need.
All right, stick around. When we return, comedian Greg Warren talks about his brand new special, The Champ.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
Metallica in the round. The M72 World Tour continues. Live from the 50-yard line of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. One night only. June 3rd. Metallica. Special guests, those Cowboys from Hell, Pantera. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And Suicidal Tendencies. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com. Metallica in the rounds. The M72 World Tour continues. Presented by In Kind.
Hi, I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks. They've built their reputation on quality craftsmanship and honest pricing, and I've seen firsthand how they put customers first. That's why I proudly certify them for windows, doors, siding, and decks. And with ABC's 3-way warranty, which includes my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, you can invest with confidence.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. Enhance your home's curb appeal with limited time spring pricing on siding and doors. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
You know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house, right? Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. Summer is here. Don't let HVAC problems ruin your fun. Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. Ready to stay cool this summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today and keep your home cool and comfortable all summer long. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
A word of caution for motorcycle riders. Remember, 18-wheelers have bigger blind spots and it takes them longer to stop than a smaller vehicle. Eric Von Hassler here to remind you that if an 18-wheeler forces you to lay your bike down, you need to call in Steel Horse Law. Attorney George Stein is a motorcycle rider and he understands bikers' needs. Get more info and request a free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story, the suspect in the fire attack in Boulder, Colorado, is facing a federal hate crime charge. Mohammed Solomon is accused of using a makeshift flamethrower to injure 8 people marching in support of Israeli hostages. The White House is reassuring the Jewish community it is safe.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called the violence unacceptable.
And rest assured to all Jewish Americans across our great country, this president has your back.
She praised FBI Director Kash Patel
for immediately calling this a targeted terrorist attack.
As for the suspect in Boulder,
this terrorist was allowed into this country by the previous administration, was foolishly given a tourism visa, and then was illegally allowed to stay. These individuals are going to be deported, and we're not going to tolerate such violence in our country.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
It could save your life. Grady Hospital has a new medical helicopter helicopter. The medical director of Grady Air, Dr. Ryan Franzman, says time is of the essence when it comes to trauma care.
Regarding that accessibility and the speed and the ability to manipulate the Atlanta roadways, this will be a game changer in the trauma system for sure.
The chopper won't just serve Atlanta. It'll cover a 50 to 70 mile radius around Grady Hospital. State Representative Jasmine Clark is joining two other challengers in the Democratic primary to unseat longtime Georgia Congressman David Scott, who served as the 13th district representative for over 20 years. Some have expressed concerns about Scott's age and health. He'll be 80 this month. The haze you're seeing in North Georgia is from Canadian wildfires.
The smoke from these wildfires is being taken by the jet stream and blown down in a south-southeast fashion right on across the border into the United States.
Meteorologist Craig Allen says there are dozens of fires burning north of the border, more than 1,700 miles from Atlanta. It is now 3:32, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
And Bill, right now, traffic troopers just now telling me of a new stall in the HOV lane, 85 southbound before you get to 17th Street. We're going to scan the jam cam for that. Elsewhere, crash just cleared up in Suwanee, 85 northbound, Highway 317, exit 111. Still slow from Highway 316. And what a mess in Cobb County. Traffic lights flashing all over the place. Newest one's going to be on Barrett Parkway at Stylesboro Road. That traffic light is flashing yellow. Use caution through that interchange. They're also flashing on East-West Connector at Cooper Lake Road, as well as in Powder Springs, Highway 278 at Brownsville Road. So proceed with caution. Treat them as four-way stops through those intersections. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny and hazy today. High 83. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, sunshine. High 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower, high 85.
It's 84 in Hiram, 83 in Snellville, and 82 in Hampton. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, a.k.a. only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at Shanco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual Imaging's LDCT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 body scan offer at Virtual Imaging has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your Virtual Imaging $995 body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
If I said to focus your energy, where would you start? Let's say you run a business, a school campus, a hospital, or a government facility. Finding ways to save can be overwhelming, but Georgia Power has energy efficiency tips and rebates to help. Things like improving lighting with LEDs, making HVAC upgrades, adding building controls, and more. Look, you've got a business to run and numbers to hit. Georgia Power can help you focus your energy where it matters most. Learn more at georgiapower.com/biz.
When you walk into Walgreens, they have shopping carts. No. I have met your employees, and they cannot handle that kind of volume, right? Like I have seen them struggle with 2 items. Now we're going to encourage people to get 54. That's a bad idea. Everybody in this room knows the unwritten rule at Walgreens, whatever you can hold in your hand, that's how much you can buy. If you need more, you turn around, you go to Target. That's a Target trip. You don't bring a Target trip to Walgreens.
That is comedian Greg Warren, a former employee of Procter & Gamble and avid proponent of Jif peanut butter, just the chunky kind, of course. Greg was an All-American college wrestler, his latest, which talks about quite a bit on his latest special, The Champ, which was co-produced by Nate Bargatze. You know who that is, don't you, Jared? And streaming right now on Nateland Entertainment Channel on YouTube. Speaking of Nate, Greg is the co-host of a podcast on Nateland Entertainment called The Consumers with co-hosts Tim Convey and Sean O'Brien. Greg, are you there?
I'm here, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. We haven't spoken in a couple of years. I'm also here with Jared Yamamoto and Autumn Fisher. And
hi, guys.
What's up, Greg? Yes. Hey, The Champ just dropped on YouTube. Listen, how would you describe this special to someone who hasn't seen your comedy before?
Well, I'd try to describe it to him, and I think it's on YouTube. It's off to a real good start. The last I checked, my dad called me this morning and told me that it wasn't on YouTube.
Okay. Can your dad figure out?
That's a very dad thing to
Yes.
report to you.
Yes.
Because I try to watch it. It's not on YouTube. I'm like, Dad,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's had 200,000 views so far in 2 weeks. He goes, it's not there. Jill tried to find it too. She can't find it either. You need to call somebody because it's not on YouTube. So, I don't want to mislead any of your audience members. Maybe it's not there. I don't know. I'm going to guess that it is, though.
Well,
He's been wrong on this type of thing before.
I've watched it twice, once a week ago and then once over the weekend to, sort of a refresher course. So,
Well, thank you.
Yes, it's very funny. What inspired the name The Champ? Are we talking about Ricky Schroeder or that you were a championship wrestler?
Yeah, you want to check that, man? You're a professional broadcaster. I believe it's Rick Schroeder.
I'm sorry. Well, I know. Yeah, I'm talking about young Ricky Schroeder, not NYPD
right.
Blue Rick Schroeder.
You're right. It was him and Johnny Voight, I believe,
That's
in a boxing
right.
movie.
Don't
Yeah.
die, champ. Don't die, champ. Yeah.
Yeah, don't. When you Google The Champ on YouTube, if that comes up, it's a great film, but it's not funny.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
don't
not
watch
that
it with
funny.
the kids.
No, they'll cry.
I did.
Yeah.
So you were when you were a college wrestler, so you were really good at wrestling. I think Jared, he's all fit and everything, but he wasn't a wrestler.
I was not.
So you had your trajectory. It was going to be comedian, professional wrestler, or salesperson for Procter & Gamble. How did you end up in comedy?
Well, I don't know. I think there's probably some unhealthy need for attention somewhere under there, and I couldn't make it in the professional wrestling circle. I just I didn't look good in the costumes, and I think I'm a little more realistic. What those guys tend to be, there's a lot of bravado.
Yeah,
they're very confident. I usually, if they ask me, like, do you think you're going to beat this guy? I'd be like, well, I looked at some of the results from previous tournaments, and the numbers say no. That's not really professional wrestler talk right there.
No, that's not you're not good at cutting promos if you're going to be passive.
Yeah. I tend to be a little more analytical and honest about things, and they didn't want to hear that in college wrestling. They definitely didn't want to hear it, in the WWE.
No. So you do a podcast called The Consumers with Tim Convey and Sean O'Brien. Now, that's on the Nateland. How did you create that show, and how did you get involved with Nate Bargatze and his outfit, as they say?
Well, Nate and I met years ago filming a TV thing for country music television, and he's a very, very talented guy, and he's, right now kind of the biggest comedian in the world, and I'd see him every now and then when we both lived in New York. And a while back, he decided he wanted to start making content, for his fans with other comics, as long as it was, sort of family friendly and still had an edge to it. And I kind of fit in that. I fit there, and he's produced my last 2 specials. And then the podcast. I don't know. I didn't want to talk about comedy. A lot of the comedian podcasts talk a lot about comedy, and they're great. But I wanted to pick something, so we picked. We choose a brand every week and do a deep dive on the brand.
You see, that's cool. You can talk about. Have you done one on Jif yet?
I didn't, just because I spent an entire comedy special talking about Jif, and that's all I really ever talk about. So
yeah,
and we will do one on Jif. We did one on Uncrustables, which is under the Jif umbrella.
Yeah,
Smucker's umbrella. We just did Little Debbie. Actually, we recorded that last week, and fascinating stuff. I loved it.
It's a fun podcast, Autumn. You should check it out. Autumn's a big podcast.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
And speaking of the Nateland group, now just to go back to your previous special, which was called The Salesman, which I've watched a bunch of times. I'm one of those guys that goes to sleep at night listening to comedy. So I listen to you, and I listen to Dusty Slay, a couple of my favorites right now. And I just talked. Go ahead. I just talked to him last week and told him he's the funniest millennial in the country right now.
He's real good, man. He is real smart and one of the most prolific guys I've seen ever. Really, like he cranks out the material.
Oh yeah, we're out here doing a podcast. My wife is not available. Hannah is not doing the show with me anymore. Y'all, I was working on AI. Now I bring it up because this whole Nateland universe, the comics that are involved on the podcasts and the various stand-up specials, you don't know it. And I told Greg this 2 years ago when I interviewed you before. Watch the whole special, and then it clicked in my head. I didn't hear one curse word in this entire thing. And it's called clean comedy, but it's funny and a lot of it's subversive. So how do you get to that point where you're capable of doing it? Because a lot of comedians really focus on doing the adding or peppering in the bad language, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting because I tried. I never even try to say the words clean comedy because immediately people go like, I know what he means.
Right.
It's going to be lame, but
but it's not.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I hope not. But I was never filthy. I was probably 10 years ago. I was a little more profane.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't terrible, and I had a guy that was in the record business who I trusted a lot. He said, "Hey, man, you're way too clean to not be all the way clean. You need to make that move." And maybe he's right. So I did an album where I was totally clean, and I was like, I just haven't turned back since then. So I think by narrowing the field a little bit, it made me a better writer. I think I started to become a little more choiceful about the words that I used.
Go ahead, Jared.
It's kind of nice because in radio we have to deal with the FCC all the time, so we have a restrictor plate on us all the time, and that's cool to know that you guys are putting it, especially you, Nate. Greg, you're putting this on yourself here. That's cool. That's unique, man. You don't really hear that in that world very much, the comedy world.
Hey, let him call me Nate, man. The guy is killing it.
Okay, Nate.
What are you doing, man? Yeah, I mean, if he wants to call me Nate, that's just fine. He's yeah.
See, Greg and I have a contentious relationship. The first time I met him, I tried to throw him out of the studio because there was another comedian in there at the same time. And then I, realized, why don't you just calm down and have fun?
That was great, man. Yeah, I was trying to remember. You did an impression of somebody that I loved, and I can't remember who it was.
I did an impression of Rich Voss that day, which he did not love.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we were with Voss was there. Voss is hilarious.
Yes,
man.
he is.
I remember that day because it was like I think I wasn't supposed to be there, and then Voss was, and Voss was like, let him stay. And Voss is that guy is a great dude, man. He's just really, really funny guy. But I wish I could remember the impression you did because I loved it.
Go ahead, Autumn.
Oh, it's a bummer when someone doesn't like your impression.
Well, Rich Voss has a sort of a speech impediment, so it wasn't very nice to do an impression.
Right. I see. I guess that's a sore spot.
Okay, well, he made fun of my weight, and I went, is that the problem? Is that you don't like the way I look? And he went, this is how it's going to be?
He started it, and he's a comedian. He should be more chill.
Hey, do we have to take a break, Georgie? We do have to take a break.
Yes.
Can you stick around for one more segment, Greg?
Sure, buddy. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
Oh my God.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
It's the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5 p.m.
Oh, that's cool.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
This is Scott Slade for the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air, where many of their employees have been with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years. And I've used them for a lot of those years. You know, with school getting out, you've got to have good air conditioning. And if you're ready for a new AC system during the month of June, Ragsdale is taking up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system. And you'll get Ragsdale's trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Ragsdale's a name I know you can trust for all your plumbing, electrical, and insulation needs, too. Go to RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Aaron, you mentioned that taxes are on sale. What exactly does that mean? And is it something we need to take advantage of right now?
Yeah, Mark, it may not feel like it right now, especially this time of year, but when you look at history, we are actually in historically low income tax rates time. If you look back, tax rates have been significantly higher. And when you look at the national debt, which most reference at around $36 trillion, but when you consider the fact that with all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, it's actually north of $100 trillion. When we look at factors like that, there's a pretty good chance that tax rates actually go significantly higher again. So yeah, you can make an argument that right now taxes are on sale.
So Aaron, what can we do right now to take advantage of these low tax rates?
If you don't have an income plan in your retirement conversations, then you actually don't have a tax plan. And that's important because if you don't have a plan for your money, guess who does? Uncle Sam's got one, and by default, you'll fall into that one. So we want to offer you a no-cost, no-obligation tax map. It's a deep dive into your retirement plan and specifically your tax strategy. From there, we'll make suggestions based on what's working or what opportunities could better fit your situation. The goal is for you to keep more of your hard-earned money while giving less to Uncle Sam. Call us at 770-280-1488. Again, that's 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we're available all across Metro Atlanta to meet you at a time and place that fits your schedule.
Taxes are not a seasonal conversation, and they're not going away once you retire. Take advantage of the complimentary tax map by calling the Vincent Financial Group today. 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. And join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It is officially summer break, and we can all take a deep breath. Well, only if your air ducts are clean. Call the cleaning pros at Zero Res to get your ducts insanely clean. And now you can take advantage of their summer sale for 15% off all services, including carpet, area rugs, and air duct cleanings. For a limited time, mention me, Chris Chandler, and you'll get 15% off your next service. That is right, any service, 15% off. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com.
All right, in spite of his father's inability to find it, there is a comedy special on YouTube called The Champ. Nateland Entertainment comedian Greg Warren, also known as Nate, at least to Jared Yamamoto over there. Greg, do you still get nervous before taping a special, or is it just another night on stage?
No, I get a little nervous. Usually, like almost all of them, we do 2 shows, so it sort of calms you down where it's like, okay, if I flub that, I can pick it up on the next show. But yeah, I just a little bit.
Yeah.
Those the late night spots you get more nervous for because it's like such a small amount of time. It's like it's 5 minutes and like you don't get a second chance. Whereas like usually within an hour, I'm doing pretty well. You know.
Yeah, and in the late night crowd, they're going to be they do a little more pre-gaming than the earlier show, right? So they're a little more lit.
Oh yeah, no. When I said late night, I meant the like the TV shows, like the talk shows.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. The talk shows. You do 5 minutes on those shows, so it's like it's kind of nerve wracking. Those are when I'm like, I'm over being nervous. I don't get nervous anymore. And then I do that, I'm like, oh boy, I haven't felt like this in a while.
Have you always been observational about things? Because you have the ability, or the gift, if you want to call it that, I do, turning the mundane into hilarity. Like on my morning walk today, I walk through my neighborhood, but it's very woodsy. And of course, it's the South, so there's a lot of ivy, including the kind with 3 leaves that you do a poem about on the latest special. But how did that just pop into your head? And do you think you could identify poison ivy if you saw it? Yeah, no.
I could not. I could not identify poison ivy. It's baffling to me. That's why I wrote that bit. I was with a friend in Austin, Texas. She was like, "Careful, that's poison ivy." And I'm like, I just don't understand how you know that. I've had it 7 times. I've tried to learn it. The hints don't help. Leaves of 3, let it be. Yeah. Thanks for the poem, but it didn't work. This thing has the word poison in it. Is that how we're handling poisons now? Rhymes.
Yeah.
When it comes to nerve gas, say I pass. It's not. I did learn this, and I didn't talk about this in the special, but you know that rash that you get from poison ivy?
Yes.
It's not contagious. Like, no matter what they tell you. So, like, if I get poison ivy and you touch my rash, you're not going to get poison ivy. But I can tell you from experience still, nobody wants to touch your rash. Like, there's just
no.
There's not a lot of rash touchers out there, man. I mean, like, the rash toucher community is limited to dermatologists that have gloves on, and you have to pay them. It's a $40 copay to get somebody to touch your rash. And listen, that's a fair price.
Yeah.
My neighbor won't take $100. I've offered several times. Like, it's just, yeah.
Well, then I guess you just stay out of the woods then, right? You don't go anywhere near trees that might have vines crawling on them.
Yeah, that's my rhyme. If it's a plant, I can't.
Jared?
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you able to identify poison oak at least?
Nobody can. Nobody can. There's no poem.
No, even the leaves of 3. Yeah, the leaves of 3, let it be. There's lots of plants with leaves of 3.
Yes, it's not the only one. And then they say, well, this one's got a little bit of red in it. How much? Just a little. You got to get real close to see it. Once the leaf is like in your mouth, you'll see the red. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You got to really feel the leaves to see if it's poison ivy.
Yeah. And then, have you guys heard of poison sumac?
Yes, I've gotten that before. Yeah.
So now they're throwing that out. I don't even know what regular sumac looks like. And now there's a poisonous one?
Well, they use sumac. You know that little red thing that grows on a sumac tree? Maybe Greg doesn't, but
yeah, you can eat that.
Yeah, well, and if you go to a Persian restaurant, it's a condiment. You can put it on your food.
I'm going to just go ahead and say no thank you.
I don't think it's poisonous, but
it's like sometimes poison sumac, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Hey, just put it on your kebab and see what happens. Hey, we don't have an awful lot of time left. Thank you to Greg Warren. Again, I want to say the name of the special is The Champ. You can also check out The Salesman. That's sitting at about 3 million views. The Champ, a little bit over 250,000. I think The Champ is going to be The Champ because it's very funny. But before you go, do you have a social media and a website you'd like to plug so people can catch your stuff?
Yeah, it's GregWarrenComedy.com. Thanks, man. Or, again, you guys just go to, you can call me Nate. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just go to Nate. Nate's got a lot of good stuff out there.
Where's Nate's website?
Nateland Entertainment.
I think he just has the internet now.
.org. Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
That's where
you just say Nate, his stuff's going to come up, man.
And I see that you have a bunch of dates on your website in the Carolinas, in Florida, but I don't see any in Atlanta.
I am pushing for that.
Yes.
I have my Uncle Holly lives down there, and I would really like to get down and see him.
Well, the club can save money. You can stay with your uncle, and they don't have to put you up in a hotel. See?
Don't put that out there, man.
Dump that.
Come on. Yeah.
Don't dump that. Well, in lieu of having any tickets to give away for you, I do have to give away a pair of tickets to Chris. I can't say his name.
DiStefano.
Yeah. Do you mind?
Yeah, he's funny. Chris, somebody's really funny, man. Really funny dude. I used to hang with him in New York.
All right. Well, I wanted to get your approval before we did that.
He's great, man. You guys will love it. He's really good.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg Warren. Aaron, hey, listen, if you're out there and you want 2 tickets to see Chris DiStefano on Thursday, October 23rd at the Tabernacle, be caller 10 at 404-872-0750. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Thanks, Greg.
Hey, thanks, man. You guys, thank you.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is heating up outdoors and summer fun is just getting started. And you know what? I bet it'll get warmer before it gets cooler. And you know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Electrical. Don't let AC problems ruin your summer. Let Coolray tune up your air conditioner now. Ooh, are you thinking about a new, more efficient HVAC system? Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. And don't forget, Coolray is your one-stop shop when it comes to plumbing and electrical service too. Brightbox Electrical and Mr. Plumber are both Coolray companies, so they've got all your electrical, plumbing, and HVAC needs covered. Ready to stay cool for the summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today. It's easy. No phone calls, no waiting on hold. Book the time and day that works best for you. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
From house hunting to boxing up your entire life, moving is hectic. That's why when my family and I moved, we chose Scana Energy as our natural gas provider. Their dependable customer service and great options made things really easy for Mama Bear and me. Now, if only they could help me find where the Cubs put the packing tape. Oh. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60 for details. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
news, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio, news sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, a game changer when it comes to trauma care in Metro Atlanta. It could save your life.
Grady now has a new life-saving medical helicopter. Dr. Ryan Franzman is medical director of Grady Air. He says this new chopper is one of the state's largest medical aircraft and is state-of-the-art.
The crews that we'll have on it is what makes this very special. So we're going to have the ability to transport with ventilators, blood products, different types of advanced monitoring technologies.
He says time is of the essence when it comes to trauma care, and this new medical helicopter will be able to get to areas faster, which is life-saving given Atlanta's traffic situation. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
85 degrees in Atlanta. Does the rain stay away for a while? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A new charge is filed today against the suspect in the fire attack in Colorado. Stephen Portnoy reports in addition to attempted murder, the man also is accused of committing a federal hate crime.
An FBI complaint says after his arrest, Mohammed Solomon told authorities he spent more than a year planning the attack and that he researched Molotov cocktails on YouTube. The complaint says he stated that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. The complaint adds, quote, Solomon stated he would do it, conduct an attack again. He now faces a federal hate crimes count, causing injuries because of the victim's race, religion, or national origin.
8 people are recovering from injuries suffered in the attack. The suspect is accused of using a makeshift flamethrower on a crowd marching in support of Israeli hostages. Chamblee police now have an officer dedicated to reaching out to the city's LGBTQ community.
Chamblee Police Officer Brandon White has been named as the department's first LGBT liaison. Chief Michael Dieppe says this is an important step for a department that serves such a diverse community.
This just makes us one step better, at being prepared to address situations that may be uncomfortable for some in a way that will bring us positive outcomes.
Dieppe says White will serve as a direct point of contact for people in the community looking for help or support. He hopes the new position will build a stronger relationship between the department and the community. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
State Senator John Kennedy is joining Georgia's crowded race for lieutenant governor.
The lieutenant governor's office is expected to be an open seat, and I think that's the next move for me to best and better serve not only my constituents, but a larger base and get to serve all of Georgia.
Kennedy is now one of 5 Republicans in the lieutenant governor's race. Current Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones is likely going to run for governor. A new name is joining the field of candidates seeking to unseat longtime Georgia Congressman David Scott.
State Representative Jasmine Clark is the 3rd challenger in the Democratic primary against incumbent David Scott, who has served as the 13th district representative since 2003. He is second only to Albany's Sanford Bishop in terms of length of tenure within the Georgia congressional delegation. Some have expressed concerns about Scott's age and health. He'll be 80 this month, and Clark says she'll bring a bolder approach in standing up to the Trump administration. The other announced candidates are State Senator Emmanuel Jones and former Gwinnett County Education Board Chair Everton Blair. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
If you want to turn your Brookhaven home into an Airbnb, you can, as long as you play by the rules.
The city of Brookhaven says it does not want to micromanage, but if residents want to let others use their homes for short terms, they must get a permit and not rent for more than 180 days per year.
You have to consider the rights of the neighbors and the quality of life that they bought into when they purchased the property next door to a house which has become a short-term rental.
Brookhaven spokesman Burke Brennan says we've all heard the stories of wild parties at short-term rentals.
This is an attempt to try to curtail that.
Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
The Masters Ticket Lottery opens this week. You can apply for tickets to the 2026 Masters Tournament and Women's Amateur. You have until June 20th to apply. Winners will be notified in July. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Picked up a new crash on 285 heading into Doraville. Left lane block, 285 eastbound, the inner loop Peachtree Boulevard exit 31. Once you get past that, you stack up again right at I-85 heading southbound down into Tucker and Clarkston. Earlier crash in Clarkston south of East Ponce exit 40. That has cleared. New crash off to the right, 285 northbound at Covington Highway. Over on the west side, 285 southbound, getting a little slow from South Atlanta Road down toward I-20. Heads up in Cobb County, more traffic lights flashing. This one's at East-West Connector and Cooper Lake Road. East-West Connector westbound, very jammed up. Might want to think about South Cobb Drive as an alternate. How's the ride through downtown Atlanta, Andrew Seco?
Seeing the volume leaving East Point, 75-85 northbound. You're a little bit jammed from Langford Parkway all the way up towards Freedom Parkway. Southbound, the trouble starting on 85 proper. You are slowing to go on brake lights all the way down towards I-20. From the Corey County Tri-Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Fair skies this evening, lows tonight in mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up storm, high 85.
It's 83 in Tucker, 84 in Cartersville, and 81 in Locust Grove. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins with a hearty congratulations to Bill Schmaltz of McDonough, Georgia, who won a pair of tickets to see comedian Chris DiStefano. I know I'm butchering that last name. On Thursday, October 23rd at the Tabernacle. Tickets on sale right now at livenation.com.
And don't forget, Tim, too, also this week, this is the last week of the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. So you have to go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. We're going to be giving away $1,000 at 5 o'clock. Again, 5 chances this week, at least during our show, to potentially get $1,000 richer.
Can I win? Can I enter?
You cannot, unfortunately.
No? All right, I'm going to figure out, between now and then, Autumn and I are going to figure out a way to kind of, get in there and try to win that money.
Yeah, maybe Andrew
I don't know
Timms.
my social security number.
Andrew Timms.
Andrew Timms might be able to win.
You know what? It could just be an amalgam. Aw, Tim.
Oh, there we go.
Or anyway, we're not going to do that. Let's do this.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Come on, Jared, tell me what's happening.
All right, what's happening, Jared?
From space.com, Elon Musk.
I didn't know Space had its own website.
They have their own website, believe it or not.
Are they on TikTok?
I'm sure they are. I'm sure that
Hey guys, it's Space. Let me tell you about this toothpaste that I bought. It actually puts minerals back in your teeth, and you don't need fluoride, which is good.
They are one of the biggest influencers though on Reels, though. Believe it or not, Instagram
On
Reels.
Reels.
Space
So
is
they're
over
using
there.
a lot of AI.
Oh, hands down. Lots of, have you noticed there is a lot of AI on
Tons
Reels?
of AI on
There's a
Reels.
lot.
Yes.
And
yeah, because it's owned by Facebook, and people who are on Facebook are, well, some people.
Well, also TikTok has a lot of AI. There's a thing going around right now. I don't know who started it or where it came from, but it's these. I don't know if anyone else but me is seeing it. It's Bigfoot giving tips on surviving in the woods, how to cook
I
things.
have
and
not seen that.
It's like a YouTube survivalist guy, but it's just a bunch
fun.
of different Bigfoots. Yeah, it's fun, but there's a lot of it.
I have not received any of those, but I do get like the kind of off the wall content. Like I got like the apparently they're gonna have a drone team look for Loch Ness or look for the Loch Ness monster in Loch Ness,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, all right, like skip, scroll up,
Well, the
up.
way everything works, you talking about that right now, everyone listening who's on TikTok will have that in their feed by tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
But to Autumn's point, there is a ton of AI. I even read a story today that Zuckerberg is going to have all of his advertising done with AI.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, it's lazy. People are going to lose their jobs. Anyway, so according to space.com.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Zuck.
According to
You're welcome.
According to space.com, Elon Musk says SpaceX will launch its biggest Starship yet this year, and Mars in 2026 is about a 50-50 shot that we send at least a ship there.
I'm going to say more 1090.
Yeah.
You don't trust old Elon?
It's not that I don't trust him. It's just that those big rockets that he's launched, a couple of them have blown up, if I'm not wrong.
A couple have, yes.
But it's nice that he's out of government now and can focus on space.com.
I'd like to talk about spaceships.
Yes, I'd like to talk about spaceships.
Didn't that happen yesterday on CBS? Or one of those Sunday morning shows?
I think it's Sunday morning. That's what I was talking about. That he was trying to ask him about, the president's decisions and how they go against Elon Musk's own experience as a foreign student and all of the backlash. Yes, I don't talk about that. I talk about spaceships.
Yeah, let's talk about my big giant rocket that I'm launching into space and eventually going to Mars with next year, maybe next year. I don't know.
So is it going to be a manned flight or an unmanned flight?
What's weird is in this
Really
article.
not. Do we have to say man?
Person. Yes, we do.
Yeah, person. Yeah, I like that.
Unperson.
Come on.
Why can't you say manned?
Come on.
Oh, sorry, we'll have it woman. So the
Well, if a woman is an astronaut, she's gonna have to get her dad's approval and everything.
Autumn doesn't like gendered language. No, it's always been manned. It's always going to be manned. What do they say instead of manned? If you know, leave us an open mic and on the WSB
we want to make sure
radio.
that we say it properly for Autumn.
I don't think about men when I say unmanned. That just means empty. And if you say manned, that means there's a crew, and there could be men
Well,
and
isn't
women
that
on it.
privileged of you?
Yes,
to be
it
able
is.
to do
Very
that?
privileged of me.
So was
Why
the
don't you go
Mute
jump
her
off a
mic.
cliff?
Mute this woman's microphone.
Did your dad give you permission to speak?
Keep this show manned.
was the Bezos, Katy Perry, Gail King flight was that a woman flight, Autumn? Out of curiosity,
That was a joyride to the top of the
nothing. That was-
atmosphere.
Yeah, that was absolutely nothing.
They're groundbreaking.
I'm just curious.
Apparently, it turned Katy Perry into a weirdo because after that,
She was already a
Oh,
weirdo,
she is, but it really loosened her up a little bit to do these weird shows that no one's going to. Well, they were going in other countries. Her shows here are not selling well. Anyway, more about Elon. So, do you think this is going to happen? Is he saying that it's going to happen?
It's again 50-50 shot that they'll send some kind of ship to Mars next year. Now, again, it doesn't say whether or not it is
A ship and a
woman or manned.
Yes.
in this case here, I have my doubts. I mean, I
It's not going to be manned. There's no way.
what I really love about Elon though is that
Take potatoes with you.
is that he is actually a doer, and I think
Yeah.
people have so much they conflate his kind of odd personality with him being a doer, and that's always been the problem that I've had. Like, for example, like all the stories.
Ketamine helps very much.
I'm
do
sure.
things.
I
And,
bet it does.
You know,
If it makes you productive and you keep on building awesome things and keep doing your
He's
thing,
not
like
building it though. I mean,
He's got people.
He's the owner of a company that builds it.
right? But every
It's not
company.
like he's out there, with a wrench, like I'm a doer.
Well, the railroad magnates weren't out there pounding the railroad spikes into
No.
the.
He's
That-
a doer.
That
though.
was all those Chinese immigrants out west that came here to work for free.
Yes. Oh, isn't that nice of them?
Yes.
But what I like about Elon though is that he's a doer. Like all the stories about Doge, for example, and I am happy to see him get out of government and focus back on his own business.
Yeah, I was just going to say that he's out of there now. He can go back to being the weirdo billionaire instead of just the weirdo Trump-affiliated billionaire.
Yes, yeah. I think that disconnect is going to help him and is going to help a lot of his private companies. But what was so weird about all the Doge stories from the weekend, and again, I was out all last week, so I stayed relatively unplugged.
Well, what about Doge? None of it really made it into that budget, the big beautiful bill.
No, it didn't make it into the bill, but the idea of him exposing what he did, I'd say overall, his time in Doge was a success.
Yeah.
Compared to other people, like they were like, oh, it's the worst. He's leaving with his tail between his legs, and he's the worst person. I'm like, I did not get that gist from him.
You take any of the news from the left about him leaving and any of the news from the right about him leaving and ignore all that. And just what we talked about last week on the show is that his time was done and he's leaving.
Right.
It massively hurt Tesla. It hurt the stock. It hurt sales. And he needs to get his hands wrapped around that and, without disrupting the people that got him where he is today politically. So what I think you'll see next year is him quietly starting to give money back to the GOP. Depends. Because when all this stuff got to the Senate or to the House, they were we're not cutting anything. We're not cutting anything. We benefit from it just like the Democrats do. But they are submitting this week to the House Doge budget cuts. Who knows if that'll happen? The government never cuts the budget. So.
No, they don't.
It doesn't matter what party's in control. The budget never gets cut.
But overall, though, I think we're all in agreement, though, that I think that
you don't speak for me. But go ahead.
But I think where at least my takeaway was from reading all the stories over the weekend was like, I'd say overall his time within government was a success, but he does need to go and nurse back his companies because his companies hurt while he was in government.
Yeah, and he'll still be advising Trump somehow. I don't know. I'm going to call Elon, see what he's up to, and wish him well. I think it's cool that we would go to Mars. I'm happy to say that it is a private corporation paying for all this because, again, it's just one of those things. If we're spending billions of our own money, our taxpayer money, to go to the moon, what did that do for anybody other than, hey, we went to the moon and we did it?
Yeah. It developed technology, right?
Sure it did, but why didn't they ever go? I'm always like this. Why didn't they ever go back?
I don't know.
So
and I also don't know why it's so difficult to go back now.
We lost the instructions on how to go back. We can't ever get back there. And so
They're in cursive, and I don't read it.
Yeah, I don't read it. And I don't understand it. I just don't. The government wastes so much money is what I'm saying.
It does waste a lot.
Sure.
When I walk, past when I drive past a homeless encampment, I'm thinking, boy, we should go back to the moon.
But if we build that base on the moon, we're going to need people to work there.
We can send the homeless to the moon.
Yes, there we go.
Get out of here.
See,
Yeah,
now we have an idea in place here.
So we're going to fill up a rocket and fill it with unhoused people and build a bunch of houses for them. They have to build their own homes, but when they
Moon
get to,
homes?
Get to Mars.
Mars homes.
Yes, if they survive the trip. And they aren't irradiated beyond.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, hopefully they will. Yes, when they get to Mars, they can land and just start building their homes.
One thing that I was really impressed with just being down at the beach last week was SpaceX. You think that it's only like one or two launches a week, right?
No, it's a lot.
They're launched like 6 rockets a week.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of satellites that need to go up.
Yeah, a lot of. I had no idea that they launched off that many per week, and so like I appreciate what Elon's doing with that, at least with that business. The other ones,
you really love him more than I do. Trouble spots on 285 between Dunwoody and Dorville, says our own Alex Williams.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim, Jared, and Autumn. Yeah, we do have a few trouble spots right now. All lanes are shut down. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Chambly, Dunwoody Road. Hero dragging a stalled pickup truck hauling a trailer off to the right. That's jammed up the ride from Georgia 400. Once you get past that, you got a tow truck on scene in Dorville with this crash in the left lane. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Peachtree Boulevard. Exit number 31. 285 northbound getting a little bit slower in DeKalb. We're going to check for a crash. Had been off to the right. 285 northbound, the outer loop at Covington Highway. How is the ride on I-20 both sides of town, Andrew Seco?
In and out of Lithia Springs, seems brake lights either direction. You are slow, east and west from Thornton Road all the way towards 285. Looking good inside the perimeter and heading to the work zone. I-20 eastbound on and off that brake pedal from Wesley Chapel Road out towards Panola Road, exit 71. This report sponsored by Georgia Commute Options. With Georgia Commute Options, you can get more out of every mile. Earn prizes, gift cards, and other cool deals when you switch from driving alone to a cleaner trip. More at mygco.com. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 North.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic
We've
Center.
had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Wall cracks, window stuck, could be a foundation problem. Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack, and our estimators are thoroughly trained to get you the proper evaluation for your home. Schedule your free assessment with the foundation repair experts at atlantaramjack.com.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle this summer. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Wet spots or water streaks on your ceiling, drywall, or chimney? Your roof is leaking. Home Fix It host Dave Baker. Get a free roof analysis from my trusted experts, Finley Roofing. The roof guys. No obligation, no charge. FinleyRoofing.com.
Hey Braves fans, this is attorney John Foy. After an accident, you want help, you want answers, and we're available to get you both as quickly as possible.
Injured? Call the Strong Arm. Attorney John Foy and Associates, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Critters, creeping? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Autumn's absolutely correct. You could use flown, piloted, driven, operated. There's quite a few other options other than manned.
Oh, how dare you give Autumn that much credit right there, simp.
Hello, Autumn? Wow.
Hey.
What happened?
Look at that. You know what? She doesn't even deserve to hear that open mic because she's not back yet. How about that?
You know what? She's left her
position unmanned.
Good job, George.
No. See, Autumn, you don't get a break now. We were already back on the air. You had an open micer.
Running.
You had an open micer that was.
All right, play it again.
No, I missed it.
Play it again.
No.
Play it again.
You think she deserves it, Tim?
Play it
You
again.
think so?
Yeah.
Fine.
Autumn's absolutely correct. You could use flown, piloted, driven, operated. There's quite a few other options other than manned.
Doesn't that sound like Elon Musk a little bit at the beginning?
It really does.
He's
Yeah.
listening and he loves Autumn.
All right, I'll take
He's
it.
going to offer you a job. Would you work for a billionaire like Musk if it meant you would have to sell your soul to make, I don't know, $400,000 a year?
Oh, gosh. It would depend on what the job would be, right? I mean, what
Just
what
sort
would I be doing?
of helping out with Doge, figuring out what to cut, and you can help with that, or you could work at Tesla.
It's really tough. $400,000.
500,000.
Yeah, I might do it.
But you have to get.
And then use that money to, sabotage something.
Well, you can use it for whatever you like, but you also have to re-engage with Meta products.
Oh no, I have to join Facebook and Instagram.
Well, all of our employees are required to be on there. Yeah. Oh, and X. And X. You have to be on X.
Oh, you must be on X if you.
How often do I have to post?
Daily, about your time at work and what you're doing at
How
work.
much you love
Too
Elon.
much.
600,000.
Is there a surrogacy clause or nothing like that?
You would do
I'll
it.
do
I would
it.
do it for. I would.
Yeah,
do
I
it.
know I would. Too.
Everybody would do it.
I'd like to think that I have better morals or something, but I might do it.
Money does pretty well at getting rid of people's morals or their
It
objections
does.
to things.
It is, especially like everyone has a price.
Mhm.
It is a bummer that that's the truth. It is true though. Like there is a point where it's like, well, yeah, I'll just do it, and I won't believe in what I'm doing or think it's good. But man, $500,000 a year could really make things a lot better.
It's a
I guess you would have to
living.
use, yeah. You'd have to get you'd have to do something to, I don't know, quell the guilt.
Drugs.
Maybe. Oh, sure.
Ketamine.
Oh yeah, we have
Hey.
endless supplies of ketamine. So you could that comes with your paycheck. You automatically get a shipment of ketamine.
Shoot.
Oh,
I
they
didn't know
probably,
that.
honestly, in one of their cafeterias too, they probably have all their different food suppliers they have in there, and there's little ketamine stations.
And designer drugs.
Yeah, they have Special K the cereal and Special K.
Oh, look at that.
And if you're really feeling it, Rufinol.
Hey, Shelley Winter was going to come in here and talk about this alleged delivery of alcohol that we talked about.
Yeah,
at the beginning
before
of the show.
Uber Courier became a thing,
but he's busy.
Shelly and I were actually did this. We used an Uber.
Yeah.
I'm glad he reminded me about it. That we had a beer delivery going to one of his tailgates, and we just called an Uber driver, filled the Uber up with beer. Or at least I did, and then sent it off to the tailgate, and I met up with him later.
Okay. Well, he told me a little bit of that story outside, but he is busy right now and not at his desk and not coming in here. So, do we have a story?
We sure do. Trump is threatening to impose tariffs on 2 American companies. Those American companies, Apple and Mattel.
Why am I doing that? I don't like Barbie. I don't like what they did to Ken. He doesn't have any, junk. Start giving Ken junk, or we are going to tariff the hell out of you.
Ken Jong-un.
Yes. Why? Why is he going to tariff them? Because they're not going to make their stuff here?
Yeah, I believe that's the case, is that he's threatening because they were not trying to build majority of their products here. Like I know with Apple, they're moving a lot of their production from China to India when the intention was, hey, wait a second, we're trying to get you to move here to the United States to move your stuff, not move it to another country.
Yeah.
And Mattel, I'm sure being involved in the toy world is probably a
Well,
very
why can't
similar
they
thing.
mold plastic in the United States? There's got to be a town where they could create the Mattel factory.
So it's really a intricate web of trouble moving all of your production to the United States because not only do you already have everything set up, right? You also have let's say you get all the machines that you need to build whatever you need to build in the United States, and you set that up here, and that's all fine and dandy. Well, parts on the machine break, and then where do you get those parts? From China. Because where did those machines come in the first place? From China.
Well, they can
Because
move
that's
them
where
all
the-
back here and make a 3D printer. So if something breaks, you just there it is. You fix
It
it.
doesn't work like this. Sometimes it's like
You
I
gotta
don't know. I
start
don't know
somewhere.
nothing about factory machines,
you've
but
gotta-
like, that's
you've-
what the big problem is.
You've got to start somewhere, though. If you start building,
Right, but the money that people have, like they could have pretty thin margins as it is, or even if they don't, it's still this giant expense, and that is not going to go unpaid. But that's not going to be paid by the company. They're going to push that to either the firing of employees, or they're going to push it to the price of the product.
Not with price controls. Mattel, price controls. You can't charge more than $30 for a
Okay. That doesn't seem like American.
That's not
dream.
capitalism. That is.
It's not.
This is late stage capitalism, and that's why this is happening.
I know, but do people really buy Barbies? Is that a big thing? Does your daughter collect Barbies?
Well, my daughter.
Does your son
cool.
collect Barbies?
Doesn't.
Yeah,
no, my
thank you
daughter
for
never
being
got
inclusive,
into stuff
Tim.
like that.
No,
Yeah,
and that comes from the parents, right? So most Barbies are collector's items. It's definitely a Boomer and Gen X thing, I would think.
I think there are some people, some girls get really into those, American Girl dolls. Some people get into dolls.
Yeah,
it's
some
not
people.
like it was before.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, some people collect dolls with interchangeable heads. Oh, Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 285 into Cab.
Yeah, not a good spot to have this one, Tim. 2 right lanes knocked out, 285 and northbound. The outer loop, Covington Highway, exit 43. You're stacked in back to Flat Shoals. Might want to head up toward Flat Shoals, Memorial Drive area. You can hop back on 285 north. Still got a left lane crash. Should be in the clearing stages. They got at least one tow truck on scene in Dorville. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. Earlier stall before that at Chambly Dunwoody has cleared. Tracking the ride to the northern suburbs, it's Andrew Seco.
Brake lights taking you 85 north, leaving 285 on the northeast side. You're slow all the way up towards Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. Another slow pocket heading into Sewanee north of 316. 400 working well, slow leaving Sandy Springs. Another slow spot here into Alpharetta. And the ride into Kennesaw having you on and off those brakes. 75 northbound from North Marietta Parkway up towards Chastain Road. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Belinda Skelton here with Atlanta Vision Institute's very own Dr. Ashraf, who is one of the most experienced eye surgeons in the country. Dr. Ashraf, we've all watched the news and the economy is uncertain, but failing eyesight isn't. And if you've held back due to finances, we've got good news for you, don't we?
Yes, Belinda, as you know, our eyesights degrade as we age. And with the laser optics procedure, that resets all of that. And most of my patients go most of the day without glasses. They can even read their phone without glasses. And in terms of the economy, most of these patients, their medical insurance can cover most of the costs. And if it doesn't, we have a lot of good financing options for this procedure.
That's awesome, Dr. Ashraf. I urge you to take the quiz to see if you're a candidate. Go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
Shane Company engagement rings are expertly crafted to fit both your style and your lifestyle.
My wife's an artist and works with her hands. Shane Company helped me create a ring that's beautiful and sleek. She loves it.
Shane Company rings are crafted with care using high-quality materials, and we set each center stone by hand in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store. We also protect your ring, including the center stone, with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Let us help you find your perfect ring, in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, it's happening now. A news conference in Colorado to announce state and federal charges against the suspect accused in a fire attack in Boulder. Mohammed Solomon is accused of injuring 8 people using a makeshift flamethrower on a crowd marching in support of Israeli hostages. In addition to state charges, he also faces a federal hate crime charge. President Trump is reacting to the attack.
I'm Stacey Lynn at the White House. President Trump posted about the violence on Truth Social, saying acts of terrorism will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. He said this is yet another example of why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland.
The FBI says the suspect told police he had planned the attack for a year, specifically targeting what he described as a Zionist group. It is 85 degrees in Atlanta. Does the haze stick around? And what about rain chances this week? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. It could save your life. Grady Hospital has a new medical helicopter. The medical director of Grady Air, Dr. Ryan Franzman, says the new chopper is state-of-the-art.
The crews that we'll have on it is what makes this very special. So we're going to have the ability to transport with ventilators, blood products, different types of advanced monitoring technologies.
He says time is of the essence when it comes to a trauma case. This new medical helicopter will be able to get to areas faster, which is life-saving in Atlanta's traffic. The money is on the way. The governor's office says today it will start issuing special tax refunds this week. Single filers getting $250 and married couples filing jointly are getting $500 from the state. Governor Kemp says because we've managed our state's resources wisely, we are again able to return money to hardworking Georgians who know how best to use it. Chamblee Police create a new LGBTQ liaison program.
I hope that it conveys the message of our city. We're a welcoming city.
Chief Michael Dieppe says it's an effort to build a stronger relationship between law enforcement and the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community in the city. The top-ranking Republican in the state Senate joins the crowded race for Georgia's lieutenant governor.
John Kennedy has served in the state Senate for 11 years. Majority Republicans elected him as president pro tem in 2023. As lieutenant governor, Kennedy says his priority would be continuing to grow Georgia.
If we have a good economic base and a good engine that drives our state, then you've got folks that can go to work, sustain themselves, support their family.
He says he's also dedicated to keep Georgia learning and help pass a Senate bill to address chronic absenteeism. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
What you eat could protect your brain from Alzheimer's. CBS's Matt Piper reports a new study finds a certain diet can help even if started later in life.
It's called the MIND diet, which stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. It combines many elements of the Mediterranean diet and DASH, or dietary approaches to stop hypertension. It emphasizes brain-healthy foods like leafy greens, berries, nuts, and olive oil. Those who closely followed a MIND diet had a 9% lower risk of dementia compared to those with low adherence to the diet. And those who did it for 10 years had a 25% lower risk of dementia.
Smoke from Canadian wildfires is back in North Georgia. The hazy skies you see again today are from the smoke drifting south from Canada. Reporter Alex Perez says numerous wildfires have developed.
There are some 94 wildfires in Canada that authorities there consider to be burning out of control.
Those fires more than 1,700 miles away from Atlanta. A local media owner is looking to sell off some assets.
The owner of Atlanta-based Allen Media Broadcasting, as well as the Weather Channel and a ton of other media properties, Allen Media Group, run by former comedian Byron Allen, has hired advisors to find buyers for his 28 local TV stations around the U.S. The idea? To reduce the company's $1.5 billion in debt and take advantage of deregulation in the broadcast industry. Those stations, most of them in the Midwest, could be worth $1 billion total. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby for 95.5 WSB.
It's now 4:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Better news in DeKalb County for those leaving I-20 traveling 285 northbound. The outer loop that crashed Covington Highway exit 43 now off to the right. It's jammed up the ride leaving Flat Shoals. Also got 20 westbound on the brake lights from Wesley Chapel. Hopefully that should improve. Earlier left lane crash in Dorville, 285 eastbound, Interloop Peachtree Boulevard, exit number 31. That is cleared. 285 westbound, you're starting to fill in. Leaving Ashford Dunwoody over to Roswell Road in Sandy Springs, then starting to bunch up again, heading southbound from the I-75 Cobb Cloverleaf, heading down to I-20, the West Freeway. Plenty of brake lights through downtown this afternoon, Andrew Seco.
Plenty indeed. No crashes or stalls to worry about, Alex. Just the car in front of you, and we are jammed up either direction. Northbound, you're feeling the pinch out of East Point as you pass Langford Parkway. Southbound, seeing delays on to 75 and 85 proper. Just south of 400 on 85, you are slow all the way down past I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Fair skies and mild this evening. Overnight lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up storm, high 85.
83 in Fairburn, 84 in Lawrenceville, and 83 in Canton. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
The Steel Horse Law name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies. We make them pay.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Jared Yamamoto, are we going to have Bill Crane on the show this week?
We sure are.
Because there's a lot going on. It's one of those weeks, it's been relatively quiet politically, although there is a funny story about some of the goofy things Trump did over the weekend. But there's stuff going on in Ukraine that's really bizarre. You know, they had that drone attack over the weekend.
Yeah, they got apparently over 40 Russian planes.
They say that. You don't really know. You'd never really know. I was watching, to try to get a bunch of different perspectives on it, I was watching different news organizations from around the world. There's the one out of India that's really good. There's the French one. I don't know.
F-24.
Something like that, yeah. And then... Al Jazeera, everything has it as it's bent. And then I said, well, I'm going to try to watch RT, which is what, Russia Today, which is like a live. They have an English version and, of course, a Russian version. And it's a lot of Americans that work for Russia Today, which is strange. But you can't watch it on YouTube. Everything was blocked after the war started, so you have to open the Rumble app and watch it there. But they weren't even talking about it. They were talking about Italy and something going on in Italy. And so, I don't know, it was very bizarre. So to get what really happened in Ukraine over the weekend or in Russia, you have to, I don't know, go seek it out because I don't trust any, national news service.
Yeah, the speculation on our end is that this was Ukraine's way of saying, look, we're still in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we're still legit. Trump told us we didn't have any cards, but we're still in this fight. And
well, if you can make drones that cost $30 or $100 a piece to deliver a payload that'll blow up planes. Now, it probably took more than one.
Yeah.
But that's warfare now. It's just drones. People sitting in a room piloting a drone, and a drone has a camera on it so you can watch it all the way up. I wish they had a drone in the sky recording it all so you could see everything as it happened, because that's,
Just put a CNN drone above everybody.
CNN
or an
drone.
I mean, it is
MSNBC.
being recorded, right? We just don't have access to it.
Yeah, it's a strange thing to see that is the state of warfare now. And I think that if you're, like I said, in a room and you're controlling a drone like it's a video game, it must be easier on the soul to just blow up a bunch of people.
I'm sure it is, because I mean, when you're playing, any of those like first-person shooter games growing up as a kid, right? Like I was a big Call of Duty guy. Like you're not thinking about when you're, just mowing through people in the game and stuff like that.
But you know that that's not real. I know what you're saying.
You do
of
know
course
it's
there
not
probably
real.
is some disconnect, but you are a soldier and you are like trained to kill people.
Yeah, but I guess it's just different if you're
I
not
feel
on the
like
battlefield.
My point is, when you're using a drone, obviously you know it's real, but because it's being presented kind of in a video game fashion, or at least the way that we grew up playing video games, it probably is easier, to Tim's point.
Yeah, you're just desensitized to it.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm blowing up a plane now.
Much like with Grand Theft Auto, I just get in my car and drive around, and I crash into people. And if I need another car, I get out and I steal their car, throw them in the road.
Yeah.
And then I listen to a bunch of different radio stations while I'm doing it.
That's all I did with Grand Theft Auto. I tried to play it. I would get like, all right, let's focus and play, and I would just drive around and listen to the music.
Yeah, or get drag.
Vice City was the best one.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was my favorite. And you drag people out of their car and you beat them up. But that was in the days when you had a PlayStation. I don't know what version it was, 2 maybe.
That was PlayStation 2.
PS2.
Yes, and you could get cheats. You could go online and find cheats, and then you do the up arrow and the blah, 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 move it around, and then you have unlimited
No, the drones
guns.
work the same way too. You do a couple up arrows and things like that. It's like you get an extra missile.
So if you're launching drones and the police come after you, just go into a safe house and fix up your car. And then Jerry Reed starts singing Amos Moses. Yeah, that was a good game. I haven't played a game in a long time, but
I played some Fortnite recently, and it was really fun.
is that what kind
I'm like
of
a billion years
What
too
is
late.
Fortnite?
Like,
I don't know what it is. Is
it's
it
like it's kind of like the Hunger Games, because they drop you down and you're with like 100 people, and slowly
The
but
map starts to condense on you.
Okay.
Yeah, it closes in on you. So I think, and then also you kind of like hunt people down. So when it gets to like 5 of you, you're in this smaller and smaller area, and you have to survive. It's
Okay.
fun.
What's more fun, Fortnite or Minecraft?
Oh, they're different. They're totally. It's like apples and oranges, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only played Minecraft a couple of times, but I like Fortnite better personally. Fortnite I can find
Minecraft right now.
Fortnite I find to be therapeutic sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Therapeutic?
Yes.
Why
I'm
is it
like-
therapeutic?
I don't know. I just sometimes
Shooting up a mall in Vice City was therapeutic.
sometimes after a long week and just when you read about how insane our world is sometimes, some of the best relaxation or the best way to come home and just chill would be to like go and just play any kind of game. You guys know.
Pretend to murder people. It's really fun. It's like really relaxing.
I also would put it in the same category as a Madden or an
I had a
NCAA.
headshot, I had a sniper rifle.
Look at Jared as Frank Underwood over here. Do you remember that show?
real.
Oh, yeah.
He was the president of the United States, and he was
And
just
House of
sitting
Cards,
there-
yeah.
House of Cards, playing the video games. Speaking of which, he's back in everybody's good graces now. But yeah, to the point of the video games, I just sit on my phone. I guess I get addicted to. I got Candy Crush when it first came out, and Angry Birds, and then you play that so far, where then you stink at it, and you have to spend money to get better at it. And I'm like, I'm not playing it anymore. But Candy Crush is one of those games that I time travel. I call it time traveling because you start
Yeah.
playing it, and then all of a sudden it's 3 hours later.
That's how TikTok was for me at first. I was like, this is a time travel device, because I did not realize I had been laying in my towel after my shower for 2 hours in my bed watching TikTok.
TikTok now, and it wasn't like this before. I think ever since the quiet shutdown and then it came back, it's ad after ad after ad.
Oh, it's like QVC now.
Yeah.
You're basically like it's like a handful of videos maybe, and then you got 2 or 3 ads that you have to navigate through.
Yeah, and it's starting to and now that's creeping into.
Are you scrolling instead of sleeping?
Yeah, but it's like Reels. Reels is doing that now. It didn't used to be that way.
I think Reels has less ads now than
Not mine.
TikTok, at least from my exposure to it. But I'm curious, Autumn, would you ever consider coming back over to the Meta platforms since TikTok is becoming more like this kind of? It's becoming more
No.
ad driven.
No,
No,
she's
I
on
would
the
just-
secret ones.
Which secret one?
I don't know. You're on a couple different ones.
Red
on it.
Note.
Red Note. Yeah, is that?
I'm not really on Red Note anymore. I've kind of abandoned it. But I am on TikTok, but if TikTok starts to disappoint me, I'll just stop being on TikTok. I don't need to fill the time. I just use TikTok because it's fun.
And you're bored.
And entertaining.
Don't you get bored?
Yeah, and I'm bored.
Yeah, bored. Let me do this. Let me do this.
You know what? Maybe if I did get off TikTok, maybe if TikTok does get worse, right, then maybe I'll get more done. I'll like start a hobby or like a 5K.
Start hobbies cost money, so not a hobby. Maybe something
That's true. That's a big thing too with like debt people. When they talk to people who are trying to get out of debt, they do something called hobby hopping.
What's hobby hopping?
Where you like you see something, right? Let's for example, like on TikTok, you see something that some people are doing that is a hobby, and you think like, oh, I would love to do that. So you go out and you get all the supplies for it, and you do everything for it, and it lasts like 2 weeks. Oh, okay, you're done.
It's like
I know a lot of people that do that.
People that get involved with golf for the first time in their 40s. That's a good example of hobby
they go out and buy all the expensive stuff.
They buy the nicest clubs, and you're like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're just learning. You got
to invest. You got to get a good equipment to make it.
Yeah, I talked to my trainer, and he told me to invest in myself. I'm like, no. If you're gonna start, like, especially
you buy used clubs and just go practice.
Yes, amen, Tim. Amen. Yeah, you start with the worst clubs possible, and then you build up that way. But that's a good example of hobby hopping. I've never heard of that term before.
I haven't either. I love that term. But what does that have to do with debt collectors?
Oh, because people will say, how did you get into such kind of debt, right?
I bought a lot of baseball
billion
cards.
things.
Yeah.
And one of them is like, well, I got into like crocheting, and so I bought all the. Well, I got into nails, and so I was doing all the nails. Well,
I bought a nail store. I bought a nail salon. I got
I
real
bought a
into
nail
it.
salon.
I bought a yarn store, and I just sell yarn. But there isn't much demand these days for yarn.
It's the same people that do like the MLM hopping too, where it's like, I'm going to sell Hello Kitty, or I'm going to sell the tights or whatever they're called.
So you have to be hyper aware that you're getting involved in it, because I guess this would tell me, Autumn, if I'm correct. I kind of fell into this category last weekend at the beach. I'm a very casual fisherman, and
she's an actual fisher,
and she is an actual fisher. And I bought one new fishing rod and like a net for it, and it was almost $50. But like, even thinking about spending
cheap for a fishing rod.
That was my logic. Is I'm like, look, I know that I'm a casual fisherman, and if I spend over $50, I'm doing myself a disservice, because I know that I don't do this enough. I like the hobby and I enjoy fishing, but I know that if I spend more, that I'm not going to use it that much. So I think you have to have that protective governor to make sure that you're not spending too much on these kind of hobbies.
I just use a stick with a string on it, and hopefully it's something. Watching some volume on I-75 through Cobb is our own Alex Williams.
That's right, Tim. Watching a few brake lights fill in. Not awful, though. 75 northbound through Marietta. Bunches up a little bit around 575 and Barrett Parkway up into Kennesaw, while 575 northbound tapping the brakes from Chastain Road heading up to Highway 92 in Woodstock. 400 northbound, a little slow in Sandy Springs from Abernathy, passing the North Springs MARTA station. 85 northbound added the cab into Gwinnett County. You're seeing the brake lights from Chamblee Tucker Road up toward Jimmy Carter. Secondary slow zone on and off the brake pedal from Sugarloaf Parkway up to 985 in Swanee. How are things looking now on 285, Andrew Seco?
Circle in the city, still seeing those extra delays on the southeast side. 285 northbound, the outer loop. They're starting at I-20. You're slow all the way back towards 675. Leaving Dorville, 285 eastbound. You're jammed from I-85 down to the Stone Mountain Freeway. And leaving Sandy Springs on your way towards the home of the Braves. 285 westbound, on and off the brakes from I-75 down towards I-20. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Listening to 95.5 WSB pays.
No way!
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
That is awesome.
5 chances a day to win $5,000.
Download the WSB app. Your next chance to win is coming up at 5 p.m.
Oh my God.
From 95.5 WSB.
It's not going away, that spot you're trying to ignore on the ceiling, and it's only going to get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show from my experts at Findlay Roofing. The roof guys. Your roof is long overdue to be replaced, and now Findlay has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get a new roof. Get started today with a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis, then take advantage of the 0% financing available. FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof, roof.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Not everything in life comes with a guarantee, but for premium local farm fresh sod that comes with a 1-year guarantee, family owned and operated NG Turf is the only grower to consider. NG Turf sells direct to homeowners. Get your sod from a certified turf professional at ngturf.com.
Business fraud is on the rise. Is your bank helping you make a plan to detect and prevent it? I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Our local bankers are here to guide your company and make recommendations for your business, including fraud prevention tools like Positive Pay. This month, we're even offering an on-demand fraud prevention webinar for businesses like yours. To view the webinar and learn more about how we can help you protect your business, visit amerisbank.com/businessmonth. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual Imaging's LDCT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 body scan offer at Virtual Imaging has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your Virtual Imaging $995 body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Aram here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Well, Jared, do we have any more What's the Buzz stories in that little hopper you have over there in your lap?
Here, let me shake it around a little bit. Let's see what we got over here. All right. President Trump on Saturday night reposted a baseless claim on Truth Social that Joe Biden was executed in 2020 and replaced with clones or robots. The original post made by an anonymous Truth Social user who often spreads outlandish claims. So he just reposted it on his...
So Donald Trump, the president of the United States, follows a rando person on his social media platform?
Yes,
that
that's
makes
correct.
outrageous claims about Joe Biden?
That is correct.
Now, I've
so wild.
I've seen early on when Joe Biden was first inaugurated, there were a couple of videos of him talking to people where it looked like his hand disappeared or the microphone looked like it went into him.
Yeah.
And then there were other ones where it looked like he was wearing a mask because of the line on his neck.
Right.
There was tall Joe Biden.
There was tall Joe Biden. There was Joe Biden who could walk. There was Joe Biden who could talk. Now, I don't believe in any of that. I just think that there are good days for him and then there were bad days for him. But it's a little strange to be retruthing or sharing things like that on social media.
But you know what he does, though? Okay, and I hate to give Trump a little bit of a pass on this one.
Do you think he's trolling?
Yes, absolutely. He loves to troll, and he loves to get attention, whether it's good or bad. That's always been the flaw in his presidency.
I'll tell you right now, Bob, I was never a robot or a jet. Look.
That's right,
Look,
Joe.
there's never been a clone.
That's right, Joe. You tell him.
I told him we're not like clones.
You are authentic Joe.
There's no such thing. Look. Folks, it's that simple.
In my second administration, we're going to make doing things great with Doge. Talk to Elon Musk, Doge.
Joe, that's Trump's presidency. That's what he's doing. You've already finished your presidency.
Dr. Jill told me we're on our second term.
Well, Dr. Jill.
Oh, Joe, you're doing a great job, honey.
We told him, look, we said we beat them all. I got vice president here. We're going to go ahead and take... Look, man, come on. We got to stop this war between Russia and France.
Joe,
answered his question.
I answered the question. Call the lid. Call the lid.
Now, Joe, you could run for president in 2028 if you wanted to, but you're not the president now, though.
You're damn right I could. Look, no joke. I could totally
Are you joking, Joe?
No, tell him I'm not joking. I'm going to run again.
Aw,
2028, Joe Biden and Jill Biden running together.
Again, you're confirming you're not a clone or a robot.
Come on, man. Look, I had to punch you right in your face, take you out in the back behind the woodshed, strangle you.
Take you back behind the gym, right?
Take you back behind the gym. Look, take you back there. Just like I did Corn Pop while you're rubbing my hair.
Rubbing that leg hair, that's right.
That's right, I'm not a
You
clone.
don't like that. You don't like that leg hair being touched.
I don't mind it. Anyway, we gotta go to traffic now. So
well, that is the one difference between Joe and Trump. There is that Joe probably has no idea how to operate any social media. Trump, because of his first term,
I got MySpace.
I would not be surprised. Probably a Zynga account too. You probably have a Zynga account and a MySpace. What I'm not surprised about with Trump, though, at least the second time around, is that when he reposts stuff like that, sometimes I do feel like he's just trying to poke the fire. You know what I mean? Trying to poke the fire, see what kind of reaction he's getting. First term Trump, I would have reacted differently. This time around, I think he's gaslighting.
You think he's gaslighting?
That's what I think.
All right, put a point in that. I think you're probably right. Alex Williams says there is bumper-to-bumper traffic through downtown.
Yeah, rough Monday afternoon indeed, Tim. We're watching those delays starting 85 southbound right at the 400 merge, 75 south stacks in right around Northside Drive, Howell Mill, exit 252. Not going to find any relief on 75, 85 south till you get down to I-20. Northbound delays are in place this afternoon, very much so. 75, 85 north slow, Highway 166, Langford Parkway up past Peachtree, Pine Street. New trouble on I-75 heading toward Locust Grove, Andrew Seco.
Slow as soon as you leave McDonough on your way to Locust Grove. Alex, have a crash in the left lane, says traffic trooper Cat. 75 southbound, approaching Bill Gardner Parkway, exit 212. Plan for some extra commute time on your way through this stretch of Henry County. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with a team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by QC Kinetics, our top local story. It is a WSB Money Update. Summer spending money is on the way. The state is sending out one-time tax rebates this week.
The money is for Georgians who filed their 2023 and 2024 returns before the deadline. Refunds are capped at $250 for single filers, $375 for head of household, and $500 for married couples filing jointly. Governor Kemp saying back in April,
"We know that this is your money, not the government's, and we know that you know best how to spend it."
This is the third tax rebate in recent years. Most people will receive their money via direct deposit. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
And this just in, the Atlanta City Council unanimously passes the city's biggest budget in history. It was such a big deal, Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens arrived with his cabinet to applaud the vote.
This is a vote of confidence for Atlanta's future. You have demonstrated great stewardship, great leadership, great commitment to the people of Atlanta.
The $3 billion legislation goes into effect July 1st. It is now 85 degrees in Atlanta. Does it stay hazy? And what about the return of pop-up showers and storms? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. New charges against the suspect accused in a fiery attack in Colorado.
CBS News special report. Federal charges have just officially been announced by the acting U.S. Attorney of Colorado. It follows what the FBI calls an act of violence when a man attacked people with Molotov cocktails in the city of Boulder during an event in support of Israeli hostages. It happened just yesterday. Acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Grewell says Mohammed Salman is being charged with a federal hate crime.
When he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again.
The man told police he looked up on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. Jack Harp is a retired FBI special agent.
These people that operate sometimes in the privacy of their own homes get radicalized online. It's really hard for the FBI to track some of that.
8 people were injured in the attack, some in their 80s. The suspect told the FBI that he planned the attack for a year. CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
It could save your life. Grady Hospital has a new air ambulance.
This new, larger, state-of-the-art medical helicopter represents the future of air medical services in our region, says Dr. Ryan Franzman at Grady.
Regarding that accessibility and the speed and the ability to manipulate the Atlanta roadways, this will be a game changer in the trauma system for sure.
He says this medical helicopter will enhance trauma response 24/7, not just for Atlanta, but also in rural areas outside the city. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
State Senator John Kennedy is the latest Republican to jump into the race for lieutenant governor of Georgia. He's optimistic about the next year's election.
I think the Republicans are going to have a very good, strong ticket to offer the people of Georgia good choices for good continued leadership.
He's one of 5 Republicans now in the race, hoping to replace Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who is likely going to run for governor. A new challenger joins the race against Georgia Congressman David Scott, who's been in office for over 2 decades.
Congressman Scott turns 80 later this month, and some wonder if it might be time for some new energy. So State Representative Jasmine Clark is entering the race and believes a louder voice is needed to push back against the Trump administration. She has a Ph.D. in microbiology and has served in the State House since 2019. The heavily Democratic
Democratic 13th District covers portions of Clayton County, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Henry, Newton, and Rockdale. Scott is seeking his 13th term and remains popular with many constituents. The Democratic primary will also include State Senator Emanuel Jones and former Gwinnett County Education Board Chair Everton Blair. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Brookhaven reminds homeowners who want to rent there are rules to follow. City spokesman Burke Brennan says they want to avoid loud house parties.
It's all in an effort to balance the rights of the property owner with the quality of life of the neighborhood and the community at large.
He says homeowners must get a permit and not rent for more than 180 days per year. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it is live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
And we're watching this crash on the south side. 75 southbound, jamming the ride out of McDonough toward Locust Grove. Left lane block before Bill Gardner Parkway, exit number 212. Traffic trooper Rebecca just called in a new crash. We see the delays associated with it in DeKalb County. Second right lane block, 285 eastbound, the outer loop. She says a few in the second right lane between Boulder Crest and Flat Shoals. That's why you're seeing the brake lights leaving 675 as you try to make the drive up to I-20. Speaking of, how is I-20, Andrew Seco?
No crashes or stalls, just a little bit of volume anywhere you're trying to go. In and out of Lithia Springs, we're seeing the brake lights east and west from Thornton Road to 285 inside the perimeter. A little stoppage is emerging north and south on the downtown connector. And you're right to the Mall of Stonecrest on and off those brakes. I-20 eastbound from Candler Road all the way towards Panola Road, exit 71. From the Cool Rig Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies, though still hazy this evening. Sunset around 8:45. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s at that time, cooling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or storm, high 85. Thursday, mostly cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm, high 84. Hot and humid on Friday with partly cloudy skies, high 88.
It's 85 in Ackworth, 88 in Sugar Hill, and 81 in Fayetteville. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now in the first of 5 more chances for you to win in the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This hour's keyword is love. That's L-O-V-E. Love. L-O-V-E. Go to WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is love, L-O-V-E, as in I love winning cash.
That's right. And remember, you're going to get a call from one of our nice people here at WSB. It'll be right around...
They might not be nice people.
Right around 5:30. Well, I think,
Hey, jerk, you won. Give me your address.
Well, it could be a facade. They could pretend to be nice on the phone. However, they might not be nice in real life. You just don't know.
Well, at least over the phone during the conversation, it appears to me that they are trained to be nice to whoever is winning $1,000. But make sure it's going to probably be an unknown number on your phone. So make sure
they
that
can't leave you a message.
They cannot leave you a message. Hello? So make sure. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, you old bag, you want some money?
Oh, my.
Yes.
Young man, that language.
Yes. Now, I'm going to give you an account where you can share your account with me, and then we'll transfer the money to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll put you on hold, and my assistant will take care of that. All right. All joking aside, you have 5 more days to get involved with this contest. It's $5K a day. Your share of that right now is $1,000. So, again, the key word is love. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash. What are we doing now?
Got a little study surveys polls.
Oh.
It's time for studies, surveys, and polls on the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Wow.
This is Autumn's favorite segment of the week, so thank God we're doing it on Monday. Maybe we'll revisit it later in the week.
Well, the way I look at it is if we get Autumn going early in the week, she's going to carry this and make sure that every day just gets better and better and better. Right, Autumn?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Well, this
my life.
This is where we read studies, surveys, and polls, and all of us make fun of them because they're all ridiculous.
Well, this one...
They're all meaningless, and we waste valuable life doing this.
Nah.
These pollsters work very hard to make sure to give you the information that you need. You know, some people make their decisions when they go to the voting booth.
Jared, no, they don't.
They look at these polls and they say, you know what? Nate Silver says that AOC is great.
I was a pollster for a year in the early 1990s.
Really? Really? For who?
Yes. Well, there was a class at my university in the sociology department where you did polls. So the university was getting money from pollsters and having students learn how to become pollsters.
Really?
And it was very weird to do that because you would spend, in class, you would just go to this phone bank and you would spend a lot of time just calling people. And because generally the area where we were calling was local, and I actually called my boss one time. And you're not supposed to do that. If you know them, you're not supposed to call them. But I did it anyway. And about
because you're a prankster.
2 or 3
you
minutes.
You were a prankster. You are a prankster.
Well, I didn't say my last name. I just said, "Hi, it's Tim calling from blah 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 polling." And he said, "Sure." And right in the middle of it, I started asking ridiculous questions. And he went, "Oh, hi Tim, I'll see you at work." And that was the end of that. Yeah, but polling is bizarre because I don't think that if people mostly give the answer that they think is correct.
Yes, I
it's
agree
just
with
anecdotal, but you give the answer you think is correct.
And when you look
or if you're mad, you go the other way.
Well, when you look at presidential politics specifically, that's the one that people really have they keep a pulse on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And every week it changes, especially for the last 15 years. It changes a lot.
Oh, yeah. 1 minute they love Trump, a week later they hate Trump.
Yes.
It depends on who's paying for the poll and how many people they sampled and who they voted for and all that stuff. So what poll do you have?
Well, this is new polling released by Atlas Intel, which, again, Nate Silver.
They're good, Atlas Intel. Is that Nate Silver?
Nate Silver describes them as top-rated polling.
Okay.
So if Nate Silver trusts them, you know it's a big deal here. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is viewed more positively by more Americans than both Donald Trump and
Donald Trump?
And
I'm just a goofy tramp. I'm here playing with the shoes. You don't hear me because it's a silent film. The lovable Donald Trump.
The lovable Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
I don't believe that at all. I think it's ridiculous.
Again, Nate Silver trusts this Atlas
You're
Intel.
gonna argue with surveys and polls?
Well, I would like to know
With Atlas Intel?
how many people were sampled and what was their political makeup. Do they put that in the article?
It was 3,469 respondents.
In your face, Tim.
Yes.
Take that.
And it was carried out May 21st through May 27th. It looks like it was all cell phone from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. Do they have the demographic breakdown and who they voted for?
It doesn't have the demographic breakdown specifically on here.
Yes, sir. Could you please tell me, who do you like better, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Honey, who do we like better?
Who's that girl that I thought was funny on the thing I saw her on once?
The lady with long hair.
Yeah.
Greta
She
Thunberg.
reminds me of my granddaughter.
Yes.
Senseless. She's not more favorable.
Well, again, according to this polling here, 46% of respondents compared to 44% viewed her positively compared to negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go down the line, Trump is just a little bit behind, within the margin of error, 44%.
President Trump, thank you.
Vance, your vice president, 42%, and Kamala Harris, 42%. Joe Biden bringing up the rear here, 37%.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Bringing up the rear.
Bringing up the rear. That means we're number one at the bottom.
Bring back Joe.
Yeah, bring back Joe.
Barack Obama, 53% like him compared to 43% who view him negatively. Michelle Obama, 49% positive, 45% negative. That's kind of the outlier in this poll here, is because until Michelle Obama came out with her own podcast, she was crushing it in all Democratic polling. People are like, why isn't she polling? I think that podcast that she's doing is actually hurting her. And to see that, like, I thought most of the Democratic Party or any respondent would think, oh, it's Michelle Obama. She's cool, whatever. So, like, she'd be 60% favorability because we don't really know exactly where her politics are.
But to that point, I think it depends on the day of the week, the time of the people that you called, whether people generally like her, no matter what political stripe you belong to or that you wear on your sleeve. I think people in general have no problem with her. I don't care. I don't have any problem with her. She's a smart person. I don't think she's ever going to run for president because once they were out of the White House, it was like, thank God I'm out of here. You know?
Yeah, seriously.
And I can see why Barack Obama would be more popular than a lot of people because so many people voted for him twice and probably would have again were he able to run. He's still young. He's still involved in politics. Now, I don't want everybody out there getting mad because I said something nice about the guy that they hate for no reason. He was a president for 8 years.
And I'm sorry, I'll go on the
You don't have
record.
to
He was
apologize.
a likable guy. You know,
you want to have a beer with me?
Didn't agree with his politics on a lot of things, but he's a likable guy.
Yeah, it seems like unless you're a chef. Then you quit. And you go find another job. Is all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that you quit and you go and find another job.
Amen. Tim.
But I generally think you could probably, if you're not insane, just base. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Because how is she known? If you're not paying attention to the news, people are just going to go, all right, I don't know that one. I like her better. So
AOC, you don't say.
Okay. What else do you have? What do we have? What do we have now? A poll or?
This is another poll. This is a CNN poll.
Okay.
A record
Fake news.
A record share of Americans want the government to get more done. However, few trust either party to do it. So
that should be 100%.
They want more. 4 in 10 say that neither party can get things done or have strong leadership, but they want government to do more stuff.
Oh, that clears a lot of things up.
So thank you, CNN.
We don't think they can do anything, but we wish that they would. Thank you for your time today. We'll
I mean,
put that
I
in
guess
the
if you
poll.
ask those questions, right, and if they're spaced apart on the answer,
Yeah.
on the questionnaire, then you're like, yeah, earlier on, it's like, yeah, I don't really trust the government to do stuff. But then later on, you're like, hey, yeah, I do want them to do more.
I sort of had an epiphany in the last month or so that you have to watch the news like you're watching Comedy Central, because it's just so laughable to think that what they're saying with such earnestness. Now, I'm looking up now at CNN. You have Jake Tapper up there, who teased his book for 2 weeks before it came out, this book where Joe Biden was incapable of doing anything in the White House. And I go back to Jon Stewart, who said on The Daily Show, the Monday one that he fills in on, you know, that's news. Maybe you should tell us the news. And he had 4 years to tell us all these things that he actually knew. It could have been news, but no, you got to buy my book. You got to buy my book. You got to buy my book. So these books are coming out, but they've all known it. So why would you trust anything? And my epiphany is it's just none of this makes any sense. It's all ridiculous. Why get bothered? Why get angry when you could just, I don't know, look at the birds at the bird feeder and go, well, that's not annoying.
Well, the reality is, and George and I have talked about this a lot off air. I mean, obviously, there's still enough money to keep these 24-hour news networks going. But I think the majority of Americans consume news through social media now.
Yes.
I think they get it there. And even if they don't get the full context of what the story is, they find it on X, they find it on Instagram, they find it Facebook, TikTok, they find it there. And some people choose to take the deeper dive afterward if they're curious about something, while others just take it at headline value, or if it's a video that's connected with one of these social sites and they're like, oh yeah, like I obviously am an expert now on what Ukraine was doing with Russia or whatever.
I think if you live in an area where you're lucky enough to have not only a news radio station, but different television stations that carry local news, you actually get news. They give you news. They have journalists who go out and get the news.
Right.
Now, if you're watching what we're looking at right now, which is CNN on TV, you're just getting people who blather all day about topics that people are tired of hearing about.
Yeah, and like Eric talks about with those kind of media outlets, the mainstream ones, you've got to kind of read between the lines.
Yes, and you have to go find a bunch of different people talking about the same things.
You have to understand their agenda,
Yes.
why they would say something, and then what that really means.
Our agenda here at WSB is to just tell you the news and give you the news, or give you the traffic, like Alex Williams, who says it's slow on 285, leaving 675 in DeKalb.
That is right, and we got the facts for you here. It is due to a couple different crashes. 285 eastbound, the outer loop between Boulder Crest and Flat Shoals. Both of them reported to be in the second right lane. We can see the one in the second right lane approaching Flat Shoals, so going to take a little bit to get those off to the side. If you're traveling 285 southbound, the inner loop, not awful this afternoon over there on the east side, just sluggish, leaving I-85 down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. 285 west and southbound, the outer loop, about 24 minutes on and off the brakes the whole way, leaving Georgia 400 around 2 to I-20, the West Freeway. Been a slow afternoon through downtown, Andrew Seco.
Slow indeed, my friend. Northbound feeling the jam as you leave East Point just north of Langford Parkway. Jamming you all the way up towards 10th Street. Southbound feeling the pinch all the way back into Buckhead. 85 proper jamming right at 400. You are slow all the way down past I-20. This is where it's sponsored by Purple Mattress. Purple mattresses and pillows are up to 75% off for a limited time. Stop by their showroom at the outlet shops at Atlanta this weekend for amazing deals. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB Radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB Radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
For garage door repair, Metro Atlanta calls the real overhead door company of Atlanta. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1935. Others try to copy the name but cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 85 years of trust and loyalty from Metro Atlanta homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you got the genuine, the original overhead door company of Atlanta. Just call 404 USA Door.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. Hey, it's Mark Aaron for QC Kinetics. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018. Using regenerative medicine, they have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment. Now it's mainstream, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. They're well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Every piece of jewelry has a story, and at A1 Gold Buyers, we honor that story with care and respect. When you're ready to sell, we'll offer a fair appraisal and instant payment for your gold, silver, and luxury watches. As a family-owned business, we pride ourselves on creating a welcoming, trustworthy experience at our convenient, upscale location. 5779 State Bridge Road in Johns Creek, right next to Pike Nursery. A1GoldBuyers.com. A1 Gold Buyers, where you get great service and great prices.
Belinda Skelton here for Atlanta Vision Institute, and I have Stephanie with me. She's a patient of Dr. Ashraf, and Stephanie recently had the laser optics procedure. Stephanie, why did you have the laser optics procedure?
I wanted to be able to not ever use reading glasses again because I got tired of pulling my phone out of my purse when I forgot them to blow things up, and I just wanted to see.
And how was life after laser optics procedure at Atlanta Vision Institute?
Incredible. I could read the bottom of a nail polish bottle. I don't need my readers, never used them since I've had my laser optics procedure. It's been amazing.
What would you say to people who are on the fence about having the procedure?
Do you want to see?
That says it all, folks. Folks, if you want to see like Stephanie, go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
Hey, I got to remind you that you still have time to get into the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. The keyword this hour is love. That's Love. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com. Cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is love.
And be nice when we call you. That's all I request.
You always have to add that. It's unnecessary. No, who's going to answer their phone? What do you want?
I just get this picture that poor Abby or poor Chris, who's going to end up calling you, is all of a sudden, hey, who is this number calling me? And then, hey, I'm here to give you $1,000. Oh,
Well, you have to back up and think about it a second. If you're waiting for the phone call, you're not going to be angry because you know that it could be money. You're going to be angry if it's not us calling.
Maybe you get sales calls all the time, and you're like, you're used to.
Hi, my name is Dale, and I've been trying to reach you about your auto loan, or I've been trying to reach you about your mortgage. We're going to be in your area with representatives who are looking to make an offer on your house.
Okay.
It's always some.
it's like,
I love
thank
Autumn's
you.
default is always some old lady getting scammed.
Yeah. Do you need my social security number?
That would help. Please hang on right now, and we'll connect you with a live operator. Hello?
I have a Target gift card if you need it.
We'll get that when we get out there. Just go ahead and text me your social security number and your bank account. And we'll get this whole thing started. All right. Well, somebody will come by your house.
My grandson.
No, don't call your grandson. Somebody will come by your house to help you out. He'll look like your grandson.
Okay. Well, a lot of times the scammers will be like, how old are you? You must not be older than 32. And then the older say, oh my gosh, that's so flattering. Like, you're like my grandma. I love you. Like, I love you like my grandma.
Okay.
That's how they butter you up.
My hip is 32. That's good. No, Jared, you think that's funny? That was mean. I shouldn't have said that.
I thought it was pretty
Do
funny.
we have time for one more whatever?
Yeah, we've been
What have you?
We've been poll heavy, so we've had two large
I haven't.
polls. So we'll go to a study here. How kissing can actually spread depression and anxiety. This is
Oh my God. This is the worst segment ever. How kissing can spread depression?
Let me explain here. This is a new study out of Iran.
Don't kiss.
Especially in public.
No kissing.
They suggest that depression and anxiety might be transmissible through kissing.
No more kissing.
Depression and anxiety can trigger the release of the stress hormone cortisol, which can disrupt.
And you don't want cortisol because what that does is it goes right to your stomach and it helps you put on weight. If you're waking up in the morning and you're not hungry, that means you have a lot of excessive cortisol and you're spreading it by kissing.
These researchers followed 268 newlywed Iranian couples.
No kissing in public.
That's
You're
right.
spreading depression.
And one set of the honeymooners reported struggling with depression, anxiety, and sleep problems while their spouses were healthy at the start of the study. So
I want to know which ones were women and which ones were men.
Well, the men are very healthy with their sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Alex Williams says, better news on I-75 in Henry County.
That is right, Tim. Had a crash 75 southbound before Bill Gardner Parkway, exit 212. It is now cleared. Still slow, though, out of McDonough. 75 south slows right around Jonesboro Road for the ride down to Highway 2081 and beyond. 75 northbound on the northwest side of town. You're on and off the brakes from Delk Road up to Chastain Road in Kennesaw. Slows part of 400s in Sandy Springs heading northbound from 285 up to the North Springs MARTA station. What the heck is going on with 285, Andrew Seco?
More than a few things right now on the southeast side. Alex, one, we have a crash in the right lane, 285 east, right at Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. A couple exits over at Flat Shoals Road. Another crash in the right lanes here, that's exit 48. And just north of I-20, another crash in the right lane right there at Glenwood Road, exit 44. Have a really interesting ride as you're heading out of Forest Park towards the southeast side. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, y'all. Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. And I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey. and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
That's you, looking at your garage door. And you're wondering, if it gets windy, just how much can this door take? 20 miles an hour? 30 miles an hour? Sure, if we get a little wind, your buddy says if you back the car up against it just right, you can probably save it. But what's your clever plan the next time we get a storm with a name? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Storm-rated doors are built to withstand heavy winds, even if your building codes aren't there yet. It's like the door to the safe that protects your whole house. Stronger materials, heavy-duty motors and springs to handle the weight, and reinforced struts to keep it from bowing out in the wind. How do I know it won't bow? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're prepared the next time a storm with a name comes sailing across the Gulf of Mo.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, 18-ounce packages of Georgia-grown blueberries or 12-ounce packages of raspberries are just $3.49 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
As we dive into summer, it's good to know that Georgia Power has a variety of resources to help you save money and find assistance for your energy bills. This is Scott Slade. The Georgia Power My Power Usage Alerts can send you email updates on how much energy you're using. Just go to georgiapower.com/usage and log into your account. For income-qualified customers, there are discounts available when you meet certain criteria. There's even a community assistance and resource locator that can help. Find out more at georgiapower.com/assistance.
A DUI conviction could get you fired, get your license suspended, and increase your insurance rates. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. I recommend you talk to my friend George Stein, the DUI lawyer. Go to georgestein.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top story: new charges against the suspect in the fire attack in Colorado, including a federal hate crime charge.
CBS News special report. Police say the number of injured in yesterday's attack in Boulder, Colorado has risen to 12. The suspect is accused of charging at a solidarity walk for Israeli hostages with Molotov cocktails and a makeshift flamethrower. Bishop Gruel is acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Colorado.
My office has charged Mohammed Sabri Solomon, age 45, with the commission of a hate crime.
Michael Dougherty is Boulder County District Attorney and says he's facing multiple felony charges.
There were 16 counts of attempted murder in the first degree.
Mark McKellick is with the FBI.
There were 16 unused Molotov cocktails within arm's reach of the subject at the time of his arrest. So there is no question that the first responders saved lives and prevented further victims from being injured.
Solomon told the FBI that he planned the attack for a year and would do it again. He is set to make his first court appearance shortly. CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
84 degrees in Atlanta. We are back in the Canadian haze for a few days. What about rain chances in the days ahead? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. The money is on the way. The governor's office says it will start issuing one-time special tax refunds this week. Speaking in April, Governor Kemp said the rebates will help Georgians struggling with inflation.
Georgians who filed jointly will receive $500. Single filers will receive $250, and heads of households will receive $375.
This is the third tax rebate issued by the state in recent years. The Republican race for lieutenant governor of Georgia gets even more crowded as State Senator John Kennedy throws his hat into the ring.
Kennedy has served in the Georgia Senate for 11 years and is currently the top-ranking Republican. So why lieutenant governor?
As lieutenant governor, you get to greatly affect and impact the flow of legislation and the important things that need to be brought forth as solutions for Georgians.
Kennedy says as lieutenant governor, he would prioritize prioritize continuing to grow Georgia's economy and address chronic absenteeism among Georgia school kids. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It could save your life. Grady Hospital has a new medical helicopter. The medical director of Grady Air, Dr. Ryan Franzman, says that time is of the essence when it comes to trauma care.
Regarding that accessibility and the speed and the ability to manipulate the Atlanta roadways, this will be a game changer in the trauma system for sure.
The chopper won't just serve Atlanta. It'll cover a 50 to 70-mile radius around Grady Hospital. The Chamblee Police Department is the latest to add a new liaison with the LGBTQ community.
Officer Brandon White will serve the new role. Police Chief Michael Dieppe tells me he wants everyone to feel comfortable.
He'll be able to speak to peers as well as supervisors in the department about experiences he's had, experiences from the community, and just make us better prepared and trained to address any situations that might arise on our day-to-day patrol and police service.
Dieppe says they want the position to strengthen relationships between the department and members of the LGBTQ community in the city. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Georgia Senator John Ossoff wants answers after two recent CSX train derailments in metro Atlanta. He's launching an inquiry after a derailment in Fayette County in March and another in Smyrna last month when 17 cars came off the tracks in a residential area. Ossoff says he wants CSX to provide information on solutions to prevent future derailments. It is now 5:34, and this news is sponsored by John Foy and Associates. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Travel advisory on the south side perimeter. The hits keep on coming. Crash two right lanes, 285 eastbound, the outer loop before Flat Shoals, exit 48. Slow back to Moreland Avenue. If you like, you can head north of there, take 20 eastbound as an alternate. We also had a crash on the right lane, 285 northbound, the outer loop just north of I-20 near Glenwood Road, exit number 44. Elsewhere, if you're traveling 285 southbound, the inner loop, that slows, leaving I-85 Spaghetti Junction for the ride down through Tucker and Clarkson. Been a slow afternoon through downtown, Andrew Seco.
Slow indeed. Still no crashes or stalls, just a whole lot of volume right now. Jammed up on the downtown connector. Northbound, we're feeling the pinch into East Point, slow all the way up to 10th Street. Southbound, delays on to 75 and 85 proper, have you jammed all the way down towards I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies, though still hazy this evening. Sunset around 8:45. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s at that time, cooling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or storm, high 85. Thursday, mostly cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm, high 84. Hot and humid on Friday with partly cloudy skies, high 88.
Right now it's 85 in Marietta, 82 in Villa Rica, and 85 in Stockbridge. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
You work hard, and when the job's been hard on you and you get hurt, you need the strong arm, John Foy and Associates. Hey, it's Smile and Mark McKay, and after an injury on the job, you should get every workers' compensation benefit you deserve. John Foy has a team of experienced attorneys with a winning track record who specialize only in fighting for injured workers. The strong arm will fight for you. Get your free case evaluation with zero upfront costs. JohnFoy.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwind.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Steel Horse Law knows your bike is made of steel, but your heart is made of gold. SteelHorseLaw.com.
Hey, get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home for maximum value, and that's without the stress of listing your home on the market. Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, trying to sell your home can be overwhelming. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the entire hassle, get an all-cash offer, and close within days. That means no showings, no open houses, and the best part, no stress. Just go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer will be, and then you can start packing.
Are you taking your garage door for granted?
Is it squeaking and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day repair service. Experienced technicians have been servicing homeowners in Atlanta since 1935. That's 90 years. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta can handle all your garage door and opener needs. For same-day repair service, schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
I forgot what I was going to say, Jared. You told me what to say, as you always do. You program me.
I do.
But we're going to do more study surveys and polls, right?
That's right. Well, first, I wanted to play this open mic because you guys...
Don't interrupt study surveys and polls.
I'm trying not to, but you and Autumn lambasted me.
We haven't done any surveys yet.
Yeah, well, I might have a survey just waiting for
all
you.
All right.
But you guys lambasted me. You're like, nobody answers the phone angrily.
Oh, yeah, about the
WSP 5K a day bonus splits.
Sure.
Well, this open micer, this is a perfect example of how sometimes people answer the phone.
Who is this calling me? This better not be the guy from Marketplace. I've told the guy from Marketplace 100 times, take me off your list. You better not be from Marketplace.
See? I told you.
What's Marketplace?
Marketplace is like
Facebook Marketplace?
Facebook Marketplace, yeah.
Oh, so...
But also, our point wasn't that people don't ever answer the phone angry. It was that if you did do this, like,
if you
what is it
know,
called?
yes, if you submit it and you're
special
waiting
word.
and you're hoping for that phone call, you're not going to be all grumpy about it. You'll be grumpy if it's not that,
Right.
and it's the guy from Marketplace.
Yeah, do you still have the used batteries for sale?
Yeah, the used. There
Well,
are some.
I sold 4 of them. I've got 2 left.
All right, I'll be right over.
The best is a lot of people with Marketplace. We use Marketplace actually a lot, my wife and I. And
don't brag.
Well, I know it's.
I have a wife.
We try to, we try to live, within our means and try to try to find affordable options. And Marketplace is great.
Oh, you
for
buy
that.
things, you don't sell things.
We do both. We sell and buy on there. And
underwear.
When you're selling on there, the used underwear, man, that just like that sells before I can even before I even hit send. Basically, it's already sold
Before it's even off your body.
before it's even off my body. Exactly.
Oh, I don't sell it. I buy it. Anyway, go ahead.
But it is annoying though on Marketplace that listener is getting to something there because something will be sold for a while and you'll mark it sold within Facebook Marketplace and people will still DM you. Hey, you got the like the last thing we sold was like a washer mat. Like the thing that goes, I guess, what is the, where it collects water underneath your washer? What is that called? The washer?
The water collector?
Some sort of like pan.
Yeah, it's like a washer pan or something like
you
that.
can't cook with it.
Not that kind of pan.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, like you have a pan underneath your water heater.
We have a tube coming out of the washer, so if there's overflow, it goes down into the tube.
Okay, see that you probably have a more efficient method than ours. So ours has like a little pan that goes underneath the washer.
And you have to drain it?
No, you don't have to drain it. If the washer ever starts overflowing, it protects your floor, and it gives you enough time to hopefully, I guess, cut off the water before it happens. Thankfully, we've never had to use it before, but we bought the wrong size one, and we put it up on Marketplace. And,
why didn't you just throw it away?
Well, because we got like $20 for it, Tim. And you'd be amazed at how many people, when we put it up there for $20, kept DMing us, and they kept saying, hey, you got the washer pan?
You still got the washer pan?
Yeah, exactly. You got the washer pan. You got the washer pan. And there have been other items that we've tried to sell where they just continue to DM despite us putting sold or the item's not available anymore.
See, I've never bought anything off of Marketplace, but we sold one of those, those fake fireplaces.
Oh, yeah.
They heat, but it's electric and
Sure.
it pushes a little bit. It looks like there's wood in there and everything. We sold one of those, which I was glad to get rid of because they're awfully heavy.
How much you sell it for?
I don't know. I just waited for the people to show up and get it.
You were like, that falls in the category of, my wife's going to handle this one.
Well, but the thing is, when you sell
He's
something...
not Eric.
Yeah, no. I took care of all of it. But when you sell something heavy and all that, it's like... And I used to do this when I would sell things on Craigslist back in the day. It's like, you better bring somebody else because I'm not helping you put that in the truck.
That's cold-blooded, Tim.
No, but you're selling
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Especially if you're selling it, you're like, I don't want to deal with this at all. It is up to you to deal with this. I'm not helping.
So wait,
I have a pallet of cinder blocks. If you want them, come get them. But bring somebody to help you because I'm not lifting a finger.
See, in the past, I sold I had an old leather couch. And I mean, that couch was disgusting. I had roommates and stuff like that. I mean, there
But
were
you
all,
still managed to sell it.
and I was
Poor
able to.
person that bought it.
I was able to sell it too.
They're listening. They brag to all their friends. I have Jared Yamamoto's couch. Listen to, and then he plays this. All of his friends are listening, and he talk about how disgusting that couch was.
Well, okay.
All my roommates were on it. We all peed on it.
We used to dress deer on it.
We found a.
That poor couch saw some things. Let's just put it that way.
I'm sure it did, knowing you.
And we sold it for like, it was cheap. I mean, maybe $75 for both the couch and the love seat. So it's an amazing steal. But my point is, you say how you're not going to help whoever's buying your product off Marketplace or wherever you're selling it.
Yeah.
You don't help them. I literally helped the nice couple out. I helped bring the couch downstairs from my unit and
You're a
the
fool.
love
They
seat.
could pay you to do that.
What do you want, a medal?
I do actually.
But
I
you
would
don't
like
do
a medal.
labor when you're selling the item. I sold a bedroom.
You guys are crazy.
What do you call it? A bed? Is it a bedroom suite or a suite?
I don't know. Suite?
I think it's a
I think I call it a suite, but
It's a bunch of bedroom crap. It was a bed frame, and it was all this like early
Dresser.
90s thing. It looked very 90s. Okay, it was all wood, and there was a mirror and a dresser and all that stuff. And I put in the ad on Craigslist, I will not be able to help you. The lady who bought it showed up with her little kid and like her sister, so I had to help. But in that case, I said, okay, sure, I'll help. And but most of the time,
You made
it's
her give her like $20 more.
no. Hey, listen, if you want me to do that, my hourly rate is $90. So deduct that.
So it's gonna be a wash, basically.
Yes. I mean, I took it apart. I took the drawers out and made sure that all my junk was out of them. So
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
At least you did the responsible. I come from a place of, if somebody's willing to drive all the way out to my house and buy my product, then the least I could do is at least help them put it in
I'll
their
just
car.
leave it in the yard and take off.
Yeah.
There it is.
Good luck,
Left it in the
idiots.
yard.
Enjoy my crap couch.
Come get my crap.
Hey, are those tires still for sale? All right. Do we have time? Do we have time for that? What is it? A study? No, it's not a study.
No,
you have a
you
survey.
You wanted a survey.
Yeah,
We got a
you're
study.
damn right.
And we got multiple polls. So
I'm sure.
I want to make sure that we got the survey in from PNAS Nexus.
Oh, they're good.
They're great. Americans' distrust of algorithms to flag misinformation is even more distrusting than people doing it. So there are a lot of you talk about.
I'm lost.
I know. It's
Yeah.
hold on. Let me put this in a nutshell.
I'm
for you
smart
guys.
enough to know that doesn't sound like it's real.
Basically,
Keep going.
a lot of news sites in particular
Sure.
are going and using AI to flag things, whether they're misinformation or not. Right? Like you look
On
at
their
it
own site?
on their own site or other sites, and they'll
Okay.
say like, this is fake news or this is not real news. But as much as AI is able to go and pull into a database and actually say like, here's where it is factual and here's where it's not factual, this survey is proving that they actually would prefer a person to come in there and do the legwork for them and not AI. Does that make sense?
It does, but they could also just, hire people to write that don't use disinformation. That would solve a lot of problems.
And also the algorithm that's created was created by someone.
Yes.
And so it is going to be ultimately skewed in some way.
Of course, everything is.
So
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's
Here's
a
a
little more.
very simple solution. You're a news organization. You've hired a journalist. Send that journalist out to gather the news and then write a story and cite their sources, and they don't have to worry about anything. And also, don't insert your opinion into it.
Well, but the problem is,
or write a leading headline.
The journalists now want to make sure that they get their name in the news as well too, so they have to put a little bit of their,
Not the good ones.
own, sway
Well,
into the story.
That's the thing, is that if they stopped doing that, they would become more important, because then more people would look to them to give them the real information.
Absolutely. Like people come to our station because they know they're going to get news.
There you go.
Every half an hour, you are going to get news. And we have journalists who go out and get the stories. I hear them on the phone. They call people, they get stories, they verify sources. It's not like you're putting an article out on time.com where all you're doing is complaining about, I don't know, whoever's in office.
The state of politics
Yes,
in the current moment there. But again, this PNAS Nexus survey at the very end of the article says Americans trust expert panels most to decide what's misleading online instead of AI. So that's kind of the gist of the story.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back to that company because they're really good at doing Whatever that was.
That was a survey.
That was a survey. All right. There's a crash on I-20 in West Atlanta, says Alex Williams.
That's right, Tim. We're looking at it on the jam cam right now. Left lane knocked out. I-20 westbound, Holmes Drive, exit 52. Brake lights there back to Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Once you get outside the perimeter toward Lithia Springs, on and off the brakes. Fulton Industrial Boulevard out to Lee Road, exit 41. Heads up for a crash, 285 northbound, the inner loop on the west side, leaving the airport, right around Highway 166 Langford Parkway. That is impacting the left lane, so look out for that. Earlier crash, 285 eastbound, the outer loop before Flat Shoals, exit 48. That has since cleared. How's the ride to the northern suburbs, Andrew Seco?
Looking pretty good right now, Alex. A little bit of volume is to be expected this point in the afternoon, but we're moving just fine. 85 northbound, leaving 285. Just some scatter brake lights up towards Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. Slow, leaving Sandy Springs and 400. Breaking free with a little slow spot in Alpharetta. But the ride up into Kennesaw still a little jam. 75 northbound. Your tap on the brake pedal from North Marietta Parkway up to Chastain Road, exit 271. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 north.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic
We've
Center.
had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
As a business owner, if you had attempted fraud on your bank account today, how would you know? Do you have tools in place to detect and prevent it? I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Our local bankers are here to guide your company and make recommendations for your business, including fraud prevention tools like Positive Pay. This month, Ameris is offering a free on-demand cybersecurity and fraud prevention webinar. To view the webinar and learn more about how our bankers can help you protect your business, visit amerisbank.com/businessmonth. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals on the Skyway Fishing Pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the Grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, just a short drive away, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Book your summer getaway at visitspc.com.
Properties come in all shapes and sizes, and so do foundation repairs. Mark Beckham here. It could be new construction, a big house, a small house, or your commercial property. Anyway, you need the leaders in foundation repair to handle it. Get your free estimate at atlantaramjack.com.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. When you have plumbing problems, you need it done quickly and on your schedule. Superior Plumbing will work around your schedule night and day. They've served Atlanta for almost 40 years. They want to be your plumber for life, and they'll earn your trust by doing the work correctly the first time. So do what I did and call Superior Plumbing night or day to have a trusted plumber fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are we officially finished with studies, surveys, and polls?
I think we hit our obligation. We got 2 polls, 1 study, and 1 survey.
We got all the polls we need for the day.
I feel like we have satisfied the poll need there.
Okay, great. What do you got over there?
So, another What's the Buzz story that we didn't get to. This is a huge story that broke over the weekend because if you've been to France...
Never been there. Autumn, you've ever been there?
I have not been to France.
We know Jared has because he's a globetrotter.
I love traveling, love France, and the 2 things that you always see while you're out in France at any cafe is, and it'll surprise you, you see they drink Coca-Cola with lemon in it. They love that. That's like one of their favorite things. You would never expect that in France, and it's never told. You would expect like baguettes and stuff, but that's like one of the things that's
I drink baguettes.
That's very, very popular there is the drinking the Coca-Cola with like a lemon in it.
Yeah.
And also cigarettes.
Right.
And now the country is breaking up with smoking, and at least in public spaces. So I don't know how in the world they're going to do this before July 1st.
That's the EU mandates. That's all coming from the EU and the health freaks.
But it is a part of their culture. I mean, it was shocking to me.
It was a part of this culture for a long time too. Only we started cutting it back 40 years ago.
Again, there are a ton of people that
so
smoke
you
in
saw
France.
people smoking everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, every cafe. So much so to the point that when I first went to France for the first time, I was surprised by it. It caught me off guard seeing so many people.
Because you're not used to
smoking
seeing it. Yeah,
especially in public places.
Right.
So the idea that they're going to be able to do this by July 1st, I'm like, push the brakes here. I don't think that's going to happen at all because it really is a part of their culture.
Do you know when I go? There's a type of establishment that when I go into, I'm always disappointed by the fact that there's no smoking in there, and that's a bowling alley. Because I grew up going to a bowling alley every Friday night for years with my grandparents or my dad to watch them bowl, and it always smelled like 2 things: beer and cigarettes.
There is a nostalgia feel to that, and kind of to that point, Tim, where I can relate with you here is even going down to the beach this past week, there was only one bar in this small town that I was in that stayed open till 2 a.m., and it was like a very divey bar, but they allowed smoking inside.
Inside of it.
Inside. And so, like, going in there at first, Tina and her sister and my brother-in-law were all like, oh, my gosh, like, it's so smoky in here. But then after sitting in there, grabbing a couple drinks for just a few minutes, like, kind of the nostalgia came in. Like, we were reminded, like, this is how bars smelled for a long time.
The last time I was in a bar that allowed smoking, I think, was 2019 in Key West. And it freaked me out that they were allowing people to smoke because I'm just not used to seeing it anymore.
Yeah,
there were still places in Atlanta, in the late whatever the decade was called.
20-teens, yeah.
20-teens, fine. Sounds stupid. But that still allowed you to sit in there and smoke, the Vortex being one of them. And there were a couple others. But there's no place now at all that I can think of that allows it.
Right, which is why it was so surprising to go into this place. And thinking about how much it's changed here, I couldn't imagine. I mean, again, in France, it was everywhere. It was morning, afternoon, day, night, overnight. I mean, they're smoking all the time there. These French people are going to have their
they sleep.
They are going to have their worlds rocked by this smoking ban.
Well, I'm sure they'll have a parade and throw things and destroy things like they always do.
I'm sure they will. Just don't take away their Coca-Cola and lemonade, or lemon rather. The Coca-Cola and lemon, they love that too. Don't screw them over with that too.
Well, the EU will get on that next. There's a slowdown on I-20 west of downtown, says Alex Williams.
All due to this left lane crash still there. Georgia State Patrol is with it. I-20 westbound, Holmes Drive, exit 52. Now slow back toward Langhorne Street. Still, I wouldn't recommend an alternate yet. Just stick with that. Elsewhere, I-20 westbound, tapping the brakes as you pass the theme park there around Riverside Parkway, exit 46. On the East Freeway, 20 eastbound into DeKalb County. No construction blocking any lanes right now. Just sluggish through the work zone, making your way out to exit 71 Panola Road. Checking the ride around I-285 Atlanta's bypass. It's Andrew Seco.
Looking a little bit better than we've seen most of the afternoon. Just some scattered volume as you leave Sandy Springs, 285 westbound. You're tapping the brakes all the way through Smyrna Vinings down towards I-20 on the west side. Second slowest spot leaving Doraville, 285 eastbound. You're jammed a little bit from I-85 down towards Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit number 40. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
That's you, looking at your garage door. And you're wondering, if it gets windy, just how much can this door take? 20 miles an hour? 30 miles an hour? Sure, if we get a little wind, your buddy says if you back the car up against it just right, you can probably save it. But what's your clever plan the next time we get a storm with a name? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Storm-rated doors are built to withstand heavy winds, even if your building codes aren't there yet. It's like the door to the safe that protects your whole house. Stronger materials, heavy-duty motors and springs to handle the weight, and reinforced struts to keep it from bowing out in the wind. How do I know it won't bow? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're prepared the next time a storm with a name comes sailing across the Gulf of Mo.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
You fell in love with her because she's unlike any other woman in the world, so why settle for an ordinary engagement ring you could find almost anywhere? Well, I know a place where you can design your own custom engagement ring. Terra Fine Jewelry Company. At Terra, the styles and designs are endless, and their expert jewelers make it easy to bring your personally designed engagement ring to life. Your bride-to-be deserves more than a cookie-cutter engagement ring, so explore the vast options of custom design rings at Terra Fine Jewelry Company in Buford, Georgia. Terra Fine Jewelry Company.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, it is a WSB Money Update, and keep an eye on your bank account. The state of Georgia begins sending out one-time tax rebates this week.
The one-time $1 billion tax rebate is capped at $250 for joint filers, $375 for head of household, and $500 for married couples filing jointly. Back in April, Governor Kemp saying,
I'm proud to put this money back where it belongs and entrust hardworking Georgians with their own funds.
This is the third time in recent years that the state has issued tax rebates. The Georgia Department of Revenue says most filers will see the money deposited directly into their bank accounts. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
With a unanimous vote today, the Atlanta City Council approves a $3 billion budget. It is the largest in city history. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens applauds the council after the vote.
Thank you all for your hard work
Your commitment to this city has been second to none. I thank you for your partnership. We've been doing amazing things together.
It is the first time in Atlanta history the budget is passed without any debate or amendments. It takes effect in July. 84 degrees in Atlanta. Is the haze going to stick around? And what about the return of pop-up storms? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. The suspect accused in a fiery attack in Colorado goes to court.
CBS News special report. The man accused of attacking a group that had gathered to bring attention to Israeli hostages in Gaza has just made his first court appearance in Colorado.
Mr. Suleiman, thank you for appearing.
Mohammed Salman is accused of injuring 12 people in a targeted attack. Michael Doherty is Boulder County District Attorney.
This is a horrific attack, but as District Attorney, when I walk into this building and I see the FBI, Boulder PD, and all the law enforcement partners working, it's the exact response I hope to see.
The FBI says the 45-year-old told police he planned it for a year and specifically targeted what he described as the Zionist group. Bishop Gruel is acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Colorado and says Salomon also faces hate crime charges.
Throw Molotov cocktails at a group of men and women, some of them in their late 80s, burning them as they peacefully walked on a Sunday.
CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
This is all new at 6 o'clock. A push by a Kennesaw City Councilman to ease penalties for misdemeanor marijuana possession.
Here in Kennesaw, the discussion is leading towards potentially getting it up to $500 fine with a chance of community service, which I believe is a lot more fair.
Councilman Anthony Gutierrez says right now in the city, a person faces a $1,000 fine and possibly a year in jail if they are caught with less than an ounce. Several other cities, including Athens and Atlanta, have also reduced fines and eliminated jail time for similar cases. A game changer when it comes to trauma care in Metro Atlanta.
Grady now has a new life-saving medical helicopter. Dr. Ryan Franzman is medical director of Grady Air. He says this new chopper is one of the state's largest medical aircraft and is state-of-the-art.
The crews that we'll have on it is what makes this very special. So we're going to have the ability to transport with ventilators, blood products, different types of advanced monitoring technologies.
He says time is of the essence when it comes to trauma care, and this new medical helicopter will be able to get to areas faster, which is life-saving given Atlanta's traffic situation. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Brookhaven wants to make sure short-term rentals don't get out of hand.
The city of Brookhaven is making an effort to tell its homeowners they can rent out their places for short terms, but a permit from the city is needed, and there are rules.
No short-term rental house may be rented for more than 180 days in a calendar year. The applicants can only be owner-occupied and have a current homestead exemption.
City spokesman Burke Brennan says they want homeowners to enjoy sharing their property, but not at the expense of the neighbors. If large and loud parties occur, Brennan says 911 can be called. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 6:04, and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Hero now on the scene of this left lane crash. I-20 westbound, Holmes Drive, exit number 52. Hopefully going to get this off to the right. Nonetheless, you're slow back to Langhorne Street, exit number 54. On the west side, Interloop crash partially in the left lane. 285 northbound, the Interloop, Highway 166, Langford Parkway. That is exit number 5. And heading up out of the cab toward Norcross, Hero on scene with a stall in a left center lane. 85 northbound, Pleasantdale Road, exit 96. Those brake lights take you back to Chamblee Tucker Road. How are things through downtown Atlanta, Andrew Seco?
Still really sluggish right now. No crashes or stalls, just a lot of volume. The car in front of you sitting still right now. Northbound, the jam begins at East Point at Langford Park, where you're slow all the way up to 10th Street. Southbound, feeling the pinch back into Buckhead. You're jammed in brake lights all the way down towards I-20. From the Cool Creek Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies, though still hazy this evening. Sunset around 8:45. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s at that time, cooling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or storm, high 85. Thursday, mostly cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm, high 84. Hot and humid on Friday with partly cloudy skies, high 88.
It's 86 in Sewanee, 84 in Kennesaw, and 82 in Peachtree City. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
All right, it is hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine. Time flies when you're kind of having fun.
I'm having fun Tim.
I know
Hopefully.
you're having fun. I'm just kidding. I am having fun also, and we're going to keep the fun going right now.
He's a misanthrope, he has a dark heart, and he needs a good psychiatrist. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Monday edition. Hello, Greg.
Hello.
How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, of course.
And there's traitorous hat that he has on.
Okay.
He's wearing. Well, you can't see him unless you're watching the whatever this is called, the video stream. But he is wearing a Mets hat, and he does it to spite me because he knows I'm a Yankees fan.
Well, I was going to say, says the person who. So when you say traitor, it's not against the Braves. In your mind, it's against the Yankees.
Yes, because I do root for the Braves from time to time when I am paying attention to baseball.
We could be your favorite NL team.
Yeah.
No,
Who's the
No,
Braves?
this was
They are. I root
This
for the
was the
Braves.
betrayal.
Mhm.
Same division. Braves to Mets. That was the big betrayal.
Yeah.
On my part.
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
it rankles me to see you in that Mets hat, knowing full well that you're not really a Mets fan.
Autumn was trying to get a Marlins hat to try to jump in there too, to try to.
I love the Marlins.
Yes.
No, she could get the Washington Nationals hat with the Walgreens W on it.
That's right. That's right. It does have a Walgreens W on it. I never even thought about that till just now, and it's like, oh my God, yeah.
That's what it is.
You're a big baseball fan. Do you know why? Because there was a news story going around, and if it's on TikTok, it's always just this happened, and they don't tell you why. But here's this video, and it's the eerie music. Why are you kicked out of a game if you touch your cap while you're batting? Do you know the answer to that
The
question?
double tap on your helmet.
Yes. Do you know, Autumn?
Yeah, I watched that same video on TikTok and then did the little suggestion about what does that mean. But
Uh-huh.
actually in the comments it explained it, and it was supposed to be like during training.
Spring
you
training,
can-
they
yeah,
let 'em do it.
Yeah, you can do it, and it means that you disagree with the call. And when they do it, like I guess in the normal games, like the real games, it's like an insult to the ump.
Oh, they're thin
Well, so
skin.
this I think is born out of spring training, where you are allowed to challenge a pitch or two a game.
Oh, you're allowed
like
to challenge it?
a call, because they're testing out a new system, and it didn't carry over to the regular
Yeah,
season.
the robots.
And that's how the batter would say they wanted to challenge it.
Okay.
So I guess now in the regular season, if you're tapping your helmet, you're really just doing it to insult the umpire, saying, I
Right.
thought that was a garbage call.
Well, I think they have very thin skin.
That's true.
They do. They do have thin skin, and I feel as though the replay system, probably they hated it. And if they get a call wrong, in other sports, in football, if they do a replay, I don't feel like the refs really care. Like, yeah, we got it wrong. In baseball, you can tell when the umpire has to say that they got it wrong. Like, it just pains him.
It's been a long time, but when I grew up, umpires sort of became personalities, and it's made fun of very well in the first Naked Gun movie when Leslie Nielsen is down on the field and he's doing the umpire. You've seen this, right, Jared?
I have not.
You've never seen Naked Gun? Well, he's doing outrageous things like dancing and break dancing and stuff, because at that time, umpires were getting really nutty with the strike three.
He's getting very animated.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, why can't a player? It's not football. You're not taunting him. Tap your hat. Leave him alone. Let him do it.
Well, I was looking, I asked Grok what the rules are, and it says that it really is up to the umpire's discretion on whether or not it's considered messing with the pitcher, with the pitcher, because they said that in the middle of an at bat you cannot do it. You can adjust yourself if
I
you
get
step
it
out of
in
the
bat.
out.
I'm talking about the call though.
Right.
Called strike.
The batter should have stepped out of the batter's box, then touched his helmet.
So he was in the batter's
He
box.
was in the batter's box. That was the problem. At least that I
Oh, is
saw.
that what happened with this? Who
Yes.
knows? Because of the pitch clock now, and if the batter needs to be set by 8 seconds. I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, Greg,
we need to bring more excitement to the game.
Yes, give everybody a flamethrower. Do you have
They
any
should
stories?
mic up a bunch of people. I would watch if people were mic'd up, especially the people in the outfield. Like if they start chatting.
Oh, they're bored out there. Did you ever?
Yeah.
I played outfield in
That's what I'm saying.
Little League is different, but I played it in. We didn't have a high school team. They called it American Legion baseball.
Okay.
So if you were older, 16 through 18, you played American Legion ball. I played left or right field from time to time, and it was always boring. It was just, and I wasn't paying attention. There were girls in the stand. I'd be looking at the girls or watching cars go by. And one time my grandfather goes, Timothy, you're not paying attention. You're looking at those girls. So I started paying attention. But baseball.
One time I was in the outfield and I caught a ball that was, hit from the batter, and I was so excited. But then everyone was yelling at me because I needed to throw it at the other base where the other person was running.
Yeah, somebody tagged up.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot!
Did you play softball in high school?
No, I played softball in middle school.
Oh, okay.
Maybe elementary school.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know.
It was fun.
I miss those days.
I was really good at batting.
Yes, Greg.
You brought up Naked Gun.
Uh-huh.
You know there's a new one coming out.
Yes, I've seen the trailer with Liam Neeson.
Oh, with Liam Neeson.
I know, it's
What do you think?
The hilarious Liam Neeson.
Well, that's
I think
the
that's
point.
the joke,
Leslie
right?
Ne-
Because
Leslie Nielsen
Les-
wasn't a comedic actor either. They got him on purpose because he was, just bland and.
Okay, I didn't know that. I guess I've only ever really known him to be the comic that he is.
But
he was in old timey movies,
Yes.
being like a detective and stuff.
And he started in Airplane. They went out and got him for Airplane, to be that character.
So what was his most famous role prior to being the goofball?
No idea.
Yeah, right. I feel like it's I don't know. Liam Neeson's so established. It does seem odd.
Liam Neeson did that thing in Ted, or was it Ted 2, where he's checking out and goes, "The cereal says it's for children only." I won't.
Oh, he was also in Lego stuff.
Well, no.
He made the argument for Trick cereal. That's what it is, because Trick cereals, the advertisement is that it's all only for kids.
Yes, it says Tricks is for kids. I won't.
So
be
Liam
followed
Neeson.
home. Yes.
Liam Neeson is the son, Frank Durbin Jr.
Yes.
Drebin.
Frank Jr.
Drebin.
Yes. I like the trailer. I just know that the original creators were kind of forced out by McFarlane.
Okay, but also, I was upset by the trailer looking so computer generated.
Well, yeah.
Like
but,
everything.
yeah.
No.
But do you have were you going to get to something, Greg? I feel like we keep stepping on it.
Maybe I wanted to get to something.
Well, you got to
I was the one who brought up the Naked Gun because I had no clue. I went to the movies yesterday and I saw the trailer.
You saw the trailer,
and
yes.
This was the first time I even heard of it. Kind of caught me off guard. And I would have been open to it, but then I saw Seth MacFarlane's name.
You don't like Seth MacFarlane?
I just am so offended by everyone remaking these things that were so good. Like, don't leave this taste in our mouth after something that was amazing
They're
before
trying to
and did not need to get redone.
They're trying to expose a new generation to that.
You don't
to that
have to
franchise.
you don't have to remake it. You could just watch. This isn't like the 20s when you couldn't get like the VCR going because it wasn't invented. You could, you know what I mean? Now everything's available at all times.
Uh-huh. Well, I get it's not like it's a Star Wars property and they're going to make a ton of money on it. McFarlane is just a huge fan of those movies, as a lot of Gen Xers are. But the way they handled the trailer, I kind of get what Autumn's talking about, because the trailer opens up as a little girl walking into a bank that's being robbed. The little girl's eating a lollipop, pulls her mask off, and it's Liam Neeson, and he kills all of them. Now, that is also sort of what happened in the first movie, where Leslie Nielsen is dressed up as a waiter, and there's all these bad guys from the time, like the Ayatollah and the Russians and stuff like that. And so he takes care of all of them. So, but that was just with practical effects. This, as Autumn has said, is a lot of CGI and stuff like that. But
that just takes me out of it. It just bothers me so much that I'm already out. I can't keep connected anymore.
What sucked me back in, though, is when he's talking to his dad. There's a photo of Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, that was funny.
And it keeps going down to all the different characters and their fathers. And then there's a African-American cop who looks up and sees OJ, and he just turns his head to the camera and walks away. Yeah. So you're not going to...
I will say that's the part of the trailer when I was sitting there thinking, I don't know.
Yeah.
That seemed all right.
Yeah, but I'm going to watch it. I love the originals. It won't be as funny. And
are you going to go to the theater and watch it?
Are you kidding? Oh, no, I'll watch it on streaming.
You can have a theater experience where everyone's laughing. Oh.
There's no one in the theater when I go to the movies anymore. It's like 6 people.
That's nice.
It is nice, but you also like that. If you're going to see a movie like The Naked Gun, you want 100, you want 200 people in there, everybody laughing.
I prefer like a quarter-filled theater, meaning that
even for a comedy, I want everybody in there laughing.
You see, but the problem is oftentimes I'm walking into a movie during the previews, and I realize it's not. It's a
so you're enjoying, bothering everybody with your noises. And
I'm the one that's like, they've already lowered the lights, and I'm like, excuse me.
I don't like you.
I'm spilling my popcorn. I'm notorious for doing that. So when I walk into a theater and I see that it's only like a quarter filled, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Now when you go in the theater and there's only 6 people, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm obviously really late to it, or it's a really bad movie,
or it's during the day.
That's true, or during the day. But at quarter filled, at least I'm like, oh, there's plenty of seats. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is like a true audience feel in the theater, then you all react together, and there is that that moment of camaraderie with your fellow theater goers.
Do
in there.
people react? I feel like people don't laugh anymore. I feel like people don't cheer at concerts anymore. It's a lot of subdued
definitely cheer at
behavior.
concerts.
Well, if they're old acts, then they cheer because they're people our age and they like it. I want to go see the new Wes Anderson, so I might go see that this weekend.
The Phoenician thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
What did you see yesterday, Greg?
The new Mission Impossible.
Was it good or bad?
I enjoyed it. I was never really into that franchise. I only saw the first one in theaters, 30 years ago at this point, 29 years
Has it
ago.
really been that long?
Wow.
Yeah, 96, I think, or somewhere around there.
Well, they're enjoyable movies.
And then I watched the first part of this one on the plane ride home from Greece. So I decided I'm going to go see this in the and that's the kind of movie, seeing it in the theater, especially IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX, but I can see why there'd be a draw to IMAX for that movie. And, Tom Cruise, absolutely insane.
Doing all his own stunts, yes.
The stuff that he continues to do. What is he, 62 at this point?
Well,
it's too bad that he's tied to Scientology and psychotic.
maybe that helps him out.
Yeah, he's not just tied to it. He's like half
He
leader.
is it.
He's the king.
Yeah.
He is Scientology.
Hey, there
Because-
is, hang on, Greg. There is a big jam on I-20 in West Atlanta, says Alex Williams.
Yeah, all due to this crash. Right now, it's just a temporary red alert. I-20 westbound, Holmes Drive, exit 52. They got all lanes shut down, cones across them as they try to tow these cars in this widely scattered crash off to the right at Holmes Drive, exit 52. Jammed up before Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Here's what you can do. You can use Martin Luther King Jr. Drive as an alternate, or if you're right there at Holmes Drive, hop off and you can hop right back on I-20 westbound to avoid those delays. New crash in Fairburn. Our traffic troopers told us about it. We see it on the jam cam. Right lane blocked, I-85 southbound just before Highway 74, Sonoya Road, exit number 61. And the hits keep on coming on 285, Andrew Seco.
That they do indeed. Right now, still looking at a left lane blocked with a crash 285 north, the inner loop as you get towards Langford Parkway, exit number 5. Luckily, nothing to write home about, just a quick tap of the brakes as you're passing through here. Elsewhere, still slowing and going just a little bit. Have a new stall leaving Sandy Springs, 225 west, the outer loop. We're right there in a center lane at New Northside Drive, exit number 22. This report sponsored by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's pest-free 365 service. To save $50 on your initial pest service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
Oh my God.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
It's a Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8. Oh, that's cool. From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
When it comes to defending your rights, experience counts. George Stein, the DUI lawyer, has a winning track record over 3 decades with hundreds of contested jury trials and complicated cases. Make the smart choice. GeorgeStein.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you self-conscious? Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. Hey, it's Mark Aaron for QC Kinetics. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018. Using regenerative medicine, they have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment. Now it's mainstream, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. They're well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
All right, Greg Russ, since you're calling in for studio stories from Studio B1, do you have a story?
I do. Research has defined the maximum age humans can reach.
What
have
is
any
it?
guesses?
125.
No. Cool. That's not too far off. If you're a man, 114.1. If you're a woman, 115.7. Now, there are some people who are older than that. There was the French woman who lived to be 122 that she barely looked like she was alive.
Yeah.
Do you want to be that age?
Not if you don't have mobility or you're not able to think.
I don't know if she has eyes. Have you seen the picture of this woman?
No. Didn't
I don't
have
know if
eyes.
she has eyes.
Maybe her skin's just folded over them or something. You
just
put a
looks like
toothpick
her-
in there to keep your
Yeah, she just has a little toothpick that keeps
Your
the eye open
brow.
so that way she's able to see. But I'm with
I
you.
don't even want to be mean about it because it's out of her control. I just to get to that age, like, God, is it really? You know, I'm at the point where I was sitting.
Here she is smoking also.
Well, that kept her alive.
I was sitting playing a video game the other day, closer to the TV on the ottoman, so my back didn't have any support, and I'm sitting there for 45 minutes. And I
That's
stood
good for
up.
your back.
I don't know. It hurt after that.
I bet.
So
Why don't you
get
have a
100
gaming chair?
I bought a PlayStation 5. I played the Spider-Man game that came with it, and then I didn't turn it on again for a year. It took me about an hour to update it when I turned it back on.
Oh,
the
it
other
takes
day.
forever to update it. I don't know what it is with Sony about that, but it's like you have to do one update at a time. It's like, oh, there was an update back in November. Cool, you do that one. Oh, there was an update in December, and it has to do it one by one by one by one. You would think that by the latest update that you wouldn't have to that it wouldn't have to go and do every single update leading up to that one.
What'll happen if I turn on my PS3?
There probably are updates for it, depending on the last time you turned it on, and then it'll blow
10
up.
years ago?
Yeah, then it'll just
Yeah.
kind of short out and start a fire.
Okay. Well, I never finished a game that I wanted to finish. Alex Rodriguez had almost broken, at the time, Hank Aaron's record, so I guess I got to go figure that out.
What game were you playing?
MLB, the
was
show.
MLB, the show.
Yes, but it was back in, I don't know, 2010 through 2012. I had played so many seasons that A-Rod was closing in on Hank Aaron's record.
Oh,
And here's the thing. If you broke the record, nothing would happen. They would just treat it like another home run.
Oh, I know they would, but
It'd be cool if they knew.
It was a point of pride, you know?
Yeah, well, they should have built in some special celebration. Anytime a record was broken. Used to have this telephone. This is in the same vein. That in the 90s, you could press a button on it, and it would tell you the date. It would just say,
Oh, that's fascinating.
it'd be like November 22nd. And in my mind, I was like, man, maybe on Christmas it makes a big deal about it. December 25th, Christmas, and it plays a song. And I woke up and I pressed the button, and it just said December 25th, and I was very disappointed.
Now, we had a number you could call in my little town in Pennsylvania, and it would give you the time and temperature. So you would just call it, and it would go, the time is, and the temperature is. And on Christmas Day, it said, Merry Christmas. The time is, and the temperature
okay,
is.
all right, you got a little something there.
Yeah.
That's
Little
good.
things, you guys.
It is.
Little things.
Those memories that stick with you for a lifetime.
And it does show you how much, like, even with those sports games, like going back to like the stats there, how much they have changed now. Because like in the NCAA game, like I've won a couple national championships in that game. It goes all out. It's like, I've won so many to the point now where I'm like,
Go to the White House. It gives you the option. Do you want to go to the White House? Yes, no.
Yeah, it may as well give that option. But after a while, like once you've seen the celebration, you're like, okay, all right, I'm going to skip through it now. So they've really have revamped that so much compared to some of the older games like what you're
Well,
talking
I
about, Tim.
shot so many people in playing Stalingrad that they gave me a bucket of blood. Showed up at my house.
I played a full season of NHL 96 once, and I won the Stanley Cup. And it does show them skate around on the ice with the Stanley Cup. Like the one player carries it for like 5 seconds. And you think, I just put in hours and hours and hours of work to win this thing, and that's it. That's all I'm going to get.
I think I would get frustrated if I were to start playing again because, first of all, they're so far advanced, and even more so than they were 10 years ago. But you don't have the ability to get the cheats like you used to, and the cheats were fun.
Did they have cheats in the sports games? I never really played many sports games.
If you played
outside
like
of-
NFL Blitz or something
Yeah.
like that, like those ones, all you could suddenly truck over players and stuff
NFL
like that. Like,
Blitz was the one where it was just violent.
yeah, it was violent.
excessively
and you would start
violent.
off, and you had to get 30 yards for each possession, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
first and 30, second and 30, but like you could truck through people, and there were cheat codes for that one. But for the normal sports games, like they try to make them as realistic as possible.
Well, where you play against people, I get nervous. I don't like doing that. I was playing a
Oh,
baseball
when it's real
game once.
people?
Yeah, where you connect
Yeah.
online and you're playing someone, God knows
Oh,
where.
Some 15-year-old
I'm not even playing with the
at you.
headset. I'm not even playing with that. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear them. None of that. But I still get nervous. Like, man.
I came back last night, Greg, to that point. There was a guy that I was playing against that was cussing me out. I came back. I was winning 14-0, or excuse me, losing 14-0. Came back, ended up winning 23-22. And he was like, "Your mom this, your mom that. You're, F
Was this
you,
an
F
adult?
Yes, an adult.
Probably.
And I'm like, my goodness, man, it's just a game of college football. For
No,
God's
it's
sake.
not. I need to win them all. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, traffic is at a standstill on I-20 west of downtown. Alex Williams.
All due to this crash that took quite a bit to clear up, but I can tell you it is now off to the right. I-20 westbound at Holmes Drive, exit number 52. So those brake lights as you leave Langhorne Street should start to improve. All lanes blocked and reopened. 285 northbound, the inner loop heading up toward I-20 over there on the west side as well. Highway 166 Langford Parkway. Everything there now working on the right shoulder. Jammed up on 85 south between Union City and Fairburn, Andrew Seco.
That it is. Travel advisory active here. This crash in the right lanes, 85 south, approaching Sonoya Road, exit 61. Brake lights starting to fill in. They're back towards Jonesboro Road right now. They're going to get a little bit worse until we're cleared out through here. Allow for some extra time. Keep a foot close to the brake pedal out of Union City. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals on the Skyway Fishing Pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah. And they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the Grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, just a short drive away, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Book your summer getaway at visitspc.com.
So, here's a thought. What if selling your house meant you didn't just get paid once, but twice? Sounds nice, right? That's exactly what Orchard does. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and I'm telling you, this is different. Orchard gives you cash up front from your current home, so you can go ahead and buy your next one now. No stress, no where are we going to live in the meantime drama. And while you're moving in, getting cozy, arguing over where the couch goes, Orchard is busy getting your old place ready to sell. They handle the cleanup, the fix-ups, the showings, even upgrades that can raise the price. And here's the kicker. When it sells for more, which happens a lot, you get that extra money too. So yeah, first payday comes when you buy, second one comes when your old place sells. Not bad, right? Want to check it out? Just head to orchard.com. That's orchard.com and get a free home valuation. No pressure, just a smarter, easier way to move. That's Orchard.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Looking to get organized in style? The brand new Artisan Custom Closet showroom is now open near Trilla Studios in Fayetteville. Come experience the Artisan difference. Meet with a designer for your free consultation and start your custom project today. See more at artisancustomclosets.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. The suspect in the Colorado fire attack is facing federal and state charges.
CBS News special report. New information about the attack on a group of demonstrators in Boulder, Colorado. Federal charges were just announced by acting U.S. Attorney Bishop Gruelle.
My office has charged Mohammed Sabri Solomon, age 45,
with the commission of a hate crime.
12 people were injured in the attack. FBI Special Agent Mark Mikulich says the suspect used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails and appeared ready for launching an even larger attack.
There were 16 unused Molotov cocktails within arm's reach of the subject at the time of his arrest. So there is no question that the first responders saved lives and prevented further victims from being injured.
The suspect, Mohammed Salaman, has just made his first court appearance. Judge Nancy Salamani says he's due back in court later this week.
Thursday, June 5th at 3:30, back here in this physical courtroom for filing of charges.
CBS News Special Report, I'm Matt Piper.
84 degrees in Atlanta. How long does the Canadian haze stick around? And what about rain chances this week? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. A new ordinance approved in Atlanta requires cool roofs.
As Atlanta sees an ever-increasing number of 90-degree and up days, the City Council votes to require new and replacement roofs be built with lighter, more reflective material. Dana Thompson with the American Lung Association says cool roofs can actually lower the temperature.
Concentration of dark materials within cities creates an urban heat island. It's estimated to be up to 10 degrees hotter than areas outside the city, and some neighborhoods can be up to 14 degrees hotter.
Cool roofs can also slash energy bills, ER visits, and heat-related illnesses. The ordinance goes into effect in a year. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Summer spending money is on the way. The state says one-time special tax rebates should be hitting bank accounts this week.
We know that this is your money, not the government's, and we know that you know best how to spend it.
Speaking in April, Governor Kemp said the rebates are a good way to help Georgians struggling with inflation. Single filers will be getting $250, and married couples filing jointly will get $500 from the state. A new effort in one metro Atlanta city to ease punishments for marijuana possession.
Right now in the city of Kennesaw, if a person is caught with less than an ounce of marijuana, the misdemeanor penalty is a $1,000 fine and up to a year in jail. City Councilman Anthony Gutierrez wants to change that.
Here in Kennesaw, the discussion is leading towards potentially getting it up to $500 fine with a chance of community service, which I believe is a lot more fair.
Several other cities, including Athens and Atlanta, have also reduced fines and eliminated jail time for similar cases. Gutierrez says they are working out the final language, but he expects to present a measure next week. In Cobb County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It could save your life. Grady Hospital has a new medical helicopter. The medical director of Grady Air, Dr. Ryan Franzman, says the time is of the essence when it comes to trauma care.
Regarding that accessibility and the speed and the ability to manipulate the Atlanta roadways, this will be a game changer in the trauma system for sure.
The chopper won't just serve Atlanta. It'll cover a 50 to 70 mile radius around Grady Hospital. Chamblee Police create a new LGBTQ liaison program.
I hope that it conveys the message of our city. We're a welcoming city.
Chief Michael Dieppe says it's an effort to build a stronger relationship between law enforcement and the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community in the city. Hundreds of CVS pharmacies are closing this year, including one in Atlanta. The national drugstore chain confirms the closure of 270 stores as part of an ongoing effort to realign the company's retail footprint. CVS will close its location at 439 Highland Boulevard in Atlanta. It is now 6:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic starts with Alex Williams.
It actually got a little better through downtown, but we are still seeing some brake lights northbound, 75-85 from Highway 166 Langford Parkway, trying to make your way up past Freedom Parkway. New stall northwest Atlanta. They're knocking out the HOV lane, 75 northbound West Paces Ferry, exit 255. Luckily only causing a tap of the brakes there. On the south side, right lane crash still there. Was two right lanes, now mostly just a right lane. 85 southbound Highway 74, Sonoy Road, exit 61. Slow from Highway 138. You can always use Highway 29 as an alternate. Still slow on that West Freeway I-20, Andrew Seco.
Looking a little bit better. We still have that right lane blocked. Was all lanes blocked for a second. I-20 westbound at Holmes Drive, exit 52. Moving a little bit better. Do still have some brake lights taking you back into the heart of downtown that catch you as you pass Lowry Boulevard. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies, though still hazy this evening. Sunset around 8:45. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s at that time. Cooling to the mid-60s for tomorrow. tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny, hazy, high 86. Wednesday, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or storm, high 85. Thursday, mostly cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm, high 84. Hot and humid on Friday with partly cloudy skies, high 88.
It's 84 in Noonan, 80 in Dunwoody, and 84 in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
You need a real vacation, one where you can truly disconnect and be present. I'm Richard with Lux and Rome Travel. I take the stress out of planning so you can focus on relaxing, enjoying, and making memories that last a lifetime. From European family adventures to luxury cruises, we design trips tailored just for you. Be present on your dream vacation with Lux and Rome. Book today at luxrome.com. That's LuxeRoam.com. That's luxrome.com.
Steel Horse Law has mastered riding our Georgia roads and the twists and turns of Georgia law.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate the hassle this summer. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
All right, Greg, do you have another story for us from Studio B1?
Yes, California residents are enraged because those Waymo driverless cars are making a lot of beeping noises. Regulators in California say when they back up, they need to beep like a truck. And so when they're picking up passengers, when they're going to their charging lot and maneuvering amongst each other, there's just a lot of beeping. And
What kind of beeping? Is it very loud? Is it the same as it's not like a truck?
I don't know. Ask Jared. You got an audio clip?
I actually don't have an audio clip of this.
What?
I know.
Do you guys remember there was a video where it was the self-driving cars and they were all trying to park themselves in this parking lot and they were like miscalculating everything and they were all driving. Remember?
I remember
that. Was really
yeah.
loud.
Yeah. Beep. And
that was like a dump truck backing up kind of beeping.
Yeah, it sounds like that because electric cars in general, they have to add the sound because they would be silent otherwise.
Yeah, you can't
hear an electric car. It always sounds like you're going to be like flown up to heaven or something. Like, oh.
Yeah, when they drive,
it does kind of sound like that.
When I'm walking the dog and they drive by, you hear.
Yeah, like, is this the end?
Yes, I just want. You know what I want to hear? A motor, a combustion engine. So I know.
So it makes sense that they need some sort of safety mechanism, but people do hate these things in general. I remember there was a video of people in San Francisco beating the hell out of one of these cars. Just ripping it apart, smashing in the windows.
Why? Because it was a Tesla?
No, that wasn't a Tesla. These aren't Teslas.
Oh.
It was just blocking a street because sometimes they do get confused. Because their sensors, they're going to play it extra safe.
Mm-hmm.
So if something goes wrong with the sensor, something's blocking it, when it really does have a clear path, it'll just stop and it'll start to freak out and go in circles. And
do we have them in Atlanta, or do we have them in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, those Waymo cars are everywhere. Now this here's an example of last year when they were caught up beeping at each other in San Francisco.
What Autumn was talking about?
Yes,
okay.
This is the audio.
So,
that's honking, my bad.
No, but they were making it. This is a good example of the noise. They just, if you live near one of these lots, you've got a lot of noise going on.
Have you been in one of these?
I have.
You have, and nobody's driving. You're just in it.
You're just in it. Nobody's there.
I would be so afraid.
Was that freaky?
It's a little weird at first. and it talks to you. And
Who are you going to annoy?
There's been who are you going to annoy?
I love to annoy the driver.
The drivers annoy me. That's what happens.
Oh, I love talking to them. I love talking.
Yeah,
to
I
them.
do too. I find myself having interesting conversations with Lyft and Uber drivers, and I have signed up for the beta testing for the Waymo cars, and I still have not gotten one yet. Granted, I haven't used a lot of Ubers, but I did use one in Florida, and I guess they weren't using it in the area that I was requesting one. So I was really, really hoping that I would get the chance to ride in one. But I still, like, to this day, have not had the chance to ride in one yet. And some of my friends have talked about how different it feels, how, like, you're going, like, one Waymo car cut through on the west side, cut directly through where Ormsby's is. There's, like, a parking lot over there. And instead of taking Howell Mill, it was, like, cutting through a parking lot, weaving around all the different aisles of cars. And it's like, what how does the Waymo car know how to do that?
Well, if it got you there faster, that's nice.
It did. It got the person there faster, but it was weaving through a parking lot.
So they do
But
have
it actually
in New
let
York.
you out, which is nice.
Oh, you were trapped? But they have these in New
they
York
don't have
City?
them. They don't have them in New York.
Okay.
I went to San Francisco last year for work specifically to do a production with Waymo, so we got
Okay.
to ride around in them. But no, there's instances of people being stuck in the car and it won't unlock the door. Now you can reach customer service pretty easily on the touch screen, and they can unlock it remotely.
I
But
would
it is-
think in New
it is-
York,
it is creepy.
In New York, that they would protect the cabs, right? Don't they have a problem with Uber anyway?
They didn't protect the cabs. I mean, look, years and years of the cab drivers, by law, they're supposed to take you to any part of the 5 boroughs.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they won't even let you in until you told them where you were going. And if you said, I'm going to Brooklyn, like, no. And they wouldn't let you in. So they kind of did this to themselves. So
Okay.
when Uber came about, and, Uber undermined the market, they just said, hey, it's going to cost you $5 to get to a place. They destroyed the taxi industry. And now that they have a stranglehold on transportation here, they've jacked the prices up. Where going to the airport, it's like $100. But
From Uber?
a lot of
Oh,
Uber.
easily.
Wow.
A lot of the taxi drivers, the yellow cab drivers, because you had to have a medallion. There was a set number of taxis in the city, I think 13,000, and you had to get a medallion to officially. And that was just basically your license to operate it.
Do they
those
still
things
have
were-
Roma cabs? Can't use the
Well,
other
those-
word.
They do still exist.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That used to be the alternative to the cabs. But those medallions were costing like $1 million, and some people mortgaged their futures to get those. And then Uber came about and destroyed it, and the value dropped. And
That's it. That's it.
yeah, it's sad.
All
People
right.
really did have their lives ruined.
Any more stories?
No, that's all I've got.
That's it. Jared, you only sent him 2 stories?
That is not true. There are 5 stories in there.
There's got to be one more. You can tease us or just give us a little taste of what you have in your
All right.
story pile.
We all love night vision goggles,
I do.
but the future, there is no future for night vision goggles.
Why?
You'll be able to get contact lenses that allow you
That's
to
kind
see.
of cool. I
That's
think
good
that's
if
cool.
you're a peeping Tom.
Yeah, it's great for that.
Yeah, you can
If you
sneak
want to
around.
lock somebody in your basement, you need to see them, but they can't see you. Perfect.
You just pop in those night vision contacts, and imagine like you're camping or something like that. You're-
Freeze.
Yes, imagine you have a senator's daughter in a well in your basement.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster's looking for you, but you have the lights turned off. You want that thing on your head.
That's right. You don't want to carry that big piece of equipment around. You want to pop in some contacts.
Exactly. Pop in the contacts.
dog while I put my contact lenses in.
Put up your hands.
The other officers will be here any minute now.
I like the idea of there being some.
Come back here. Sorry.
Get back here, you.
Yeah, Tim and I could do this. all day.
Yeah, we could ruin everybody's day by quoting movies.
I think that overall, and Greg, I'm sure you agree with me. I think that overall, popping in some contact lenses in those places where there's not a lot of natural light, like you're out in the woods or something like that. Come on,
As we
is
usually
where-
are.
This is where
Oh, so you can see all the
Night
glowing
hunting.
eyes looking at you.
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
creatures.
absolutely. Yeah,
Better
that-
to know they're not there.
Yes, I would rather know that they're not.
The
I would-
hunter has become the hunted.
Yes. But speaking of which, we live in the woods practically where we live in Tucker.
city in the forest.
Yes. And every night there are these deer that they're lazy. I want them to run through. That would be great. They just kind of lull, and then they look at you and they're staring
Yeah,
at
they're
you.
not
They
afraid
don't-
of you.
They don't know whether to run, and they just traipse through there. But if you don't see them, you're just like, what is that walking in the woods?
Well, see, if you had these contacts, Tim, you could go into the woods into their house,
And I would think
then-
there's a possessed deer staring at me.
and then chase it away. chase it away.
Skinwalker.
Yes, I'm going to eat your skin.
Do you have any bushes or flowers that they eat?
No. There's in the fall they eat all the acorns that fall off the trees.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Get rid of those
That's so cute.
Yeah, but there's also fox and coyotes and foxes and coyotes.
How do they survive all winter and they don't have like any fat on them?
Garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage keeps you warm.
They eat garbage.
Yeah, they wrap the old newspaper over them and keep themselves warm.
Yeah, they get it.
Okay, they eat. I'm not saying like they can't find food. I'm saying how do they stay warm?
Oh, well, their fur.
How do their little teensy little legs not freeze?
Because they have fur on them. And they also...
Yeah, but not very much. Deer
But it's
fur.
a thick. It's still a thick fur.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's thick enough. Like,
Deer hide is thick
there
enough
are
to keep
animals
them
that have
warm.
that blubber and stuff to keep them warm. They have
Well,
nothing.
they don't live in the ocean
Okay.
like a whale.
They apparently don't move as much in the winter either. They just kind of hunker down and hang out in the same area.
Yeah, they probably
Like
all
bunker.
huddle together too. I mean, they're not going to move as much in the wintertime. So
I don't think that they pile up.
you don't
have
think
you ever
so?
seen a pile of deer?
I have.
Deer don't pile up.
Yes,
No,
they
they
do.
don't pile up.
I
Nah.
absolutely.
They don't
I will.
snuggle?
I'm going to send a picture.
Cuddle puddle.
I was up in the mountains of North Carolina, Beach Mountain, North Carolina. I went camping skiing last year, and it was snowing. And because of the snow, they were all huddled together. They were all like literally
They were
laying
down on the ground?
laying down on the ground, all next to each other, staying warm. Because
Wow,
it
I've
was
never
snowing.
seen that.
Or it didn't happen.
I will
He
send
has
it
a
to you.
pic of it.
I
He's
have a
bragging
pic.
about it.
That's all. I'm sending it to our Doctrinos text thread right now.
Not very sporting if you're a hunter to see him. Hey, I'm going to go get all three of them. What, Greg?
I'm just going to lay down. I'm tired.
Well, the Pixar it didn't happen thing. It's easy now. You just go generate an image with AI.
Yeah, that's true.
A bunch of stupid deer cuddling together in the snow.
They have extra hooves.
Yeah, they have extra hooves, 17 antlers. One of them has a red nose.
There's a sign that has like weird hieroglyphics on it that aren't words.
Cuddling deer here. Hey, there's trouble on 285 into Cobb County, causing delays. Alex Williams.
Yeah, well, about the fifth problem of the day in the same spot. 285 westbound, the inner loop Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Knocks out the right lane. That's why you're slow back at Flat Shoals. Still watching this crash. I-20 westbound, Holmes Drive, exit 52. They've been in and out of the right lane. That's what's kept you on the brake pedal back toward Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. And up in Gwinnett County, crash in the express lane, the HOT lane, 85 northbound, Gravel Springs Road, exit number 118. I think we finally got some better news on I-85 in Fairburn, Andrew Seco.
Smooth sailing once again by the home of the Renaissance Festival, Alex. All lanes back open with this crash. 85 southbound at Sonoya Road, exit 61. We do have a couple extra brake lights taking you back towards Jonesboro Road. Allow extra time for these brake lights to thin out, but we are looking at a lot better shape. This sports sponsored by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Atlanta. Get ready for a global soccer showdown at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't just watch history, be there. Get tickets at FIFA.com/tickets. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta,
Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
if it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta,
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
we've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I want to thank our guest from earlier in the show, comedian Greg Warren. He has a new stand-up special on YouTube right now called The Champ. In case you missed it, you can grab the Von Haessler Doctrine podcast wherever you find your podcasts. That's going to be up in a little while. Or you can listen on demand on the WSB radio app.
Earlier in the show, too, this open micer, we always get into controversy when we bring up the city of Albany down in South Florida. And this open micer wants to make sure that we say it correctly here on the show.
Hey, guys. Native Albanian here. It is pronounced Albany. Albinny.
Albany. That's close enough to what they say in New York State, so I'll take it. Albany. Not Albany, but it's close.
Albany.
Albania. Is that where it comes from? Greg, we have a little bit of time left. Do you have any more stories? Or do you want to just ramble? Nah, give us a story. If you have one.
They're going to use underwater drones to search for the Loch Ness Monster.
Why would they waste that much time?
I saw this on TikTok.
There's just one person who got some sort of drone, and we're going to look for this thing.
Okay, good luck. There's no million-year-old First of all, if dinosaurs lived that long, there'd still be dinosaurs. And you have to have had a male and a female in order for them to have one child.
You saw Jurassic Park. You need two of them. But it doesn't, because they use their frog DNA. Some frogs can change their sex, and then they can procreate. Life will find a way.
I get that, but the Loch Ness Monster is supposed to have been in that loch ever since the dinosaurs disappeared. So,
Which, again, that loch is smaller than Lake Lanier. People forget about that, too.
Yeah,
just for comparison, it's significantly smaller than Lake Lanier.
Natural.
That's true.
I bet it's deeper too. That's why the plesiosaur is allowed to live there.
That's right. That's how it's able to survive there, is because it's so much deeper. Yes.
Does it say how much money this person is wasting with their drone to go underneath and find the thing that doesn't exist?
I didn't see any money. No.
Yeah.
It's probably something that we don't want to know.
Yeah.
See, I think it's smart what they're doing, because what
disprove it so people stop going there.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that tourism remains a thing for Scotland, right?
Right.
So what better way to get people to come to your country, and even if there is no Loch Ness Monster, you're able to buy all the Loch Ness merchandise, right? Like, think about all the places you go to.
So lame, though.
I know.
We go to like Roswell, New Mexico. It's the same thing. You buy a T-shirt with an alien's head on it.
Hold on a minute.
Right.
Hold on a minute.
Wait.
An alien craft did crash there, and we have their body parts, and we have reverse engineered their technology.
Yeah, I saw the Fox special back in the 90s.
Alien Autopsy. Is that
Autopsy.
the one?
I rented that from Blockbuster.
Was that Jonathan Frakes who hosted that from Star Trek?
I think so. Yeah.
So Loch Ness, by the way, 745 feet deep, and Lake Lanier, 160 feet.
Exactly. So it's significantly deeper.
Take that.
But Lake Lanier is significantly longer, though, than
it's more
Lake
spread
Lanier
out.
is just, hey, we flooded a town. If you lived there, too bad. We needed to build a lake.
No, what happened?
I prefer deeper than longer.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
There you go.
No,
well, everyone's got their
sense.
preferences.
It's kind of the same thing. But
yeah, I prefer wider.
Sure.
Yeah, a good wide lake.
Oh.
A lot of places to
so
swim.
wide. Yes.
And we were doing so well today until that moment.
Well,
I shouldn't have brought up the stats of the death. It's my fault.
I'm telling you, I stand firmly on the my Loch Ness assessment. The reason why they're doing it is because they have to continue to get people to come and visit Loch Ness.
Of course, so they shouldn't do the drone. They should say, "Don't get out of here with your drone."
Well, they can fake it. Use AI, put a stupid fake dinosaur in it, and off to the races. But
George and Jurassic Park coming out. That's cool, right?
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
The 7th Jurassic Park.
I've only the first 2 were the best ones, and then everything else is stunk, except for the dinosaur destroying San Diego. That was good.
That was fun. The T-Rex.
What about the girl with the gymnastics?
I don't know.
That was amazing.
Yes, they're always so good. Chris Pratt can enlighten any film. Hey, that music tells us that we got to wrap it up and get out of here. It's the law, but yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Eric's off all week, but you have the Doctrinaire Doctrine right up till Friday. See you later.